Welcome to Orange County for CCL Baseball on the Forsters Radio Network. Today, the Sturs have traveled south to take on the OC Riptide for a make-up game. I'm Hunter Shoemake alongside Nate Martin, and we welcome you to the Great Park Sports Complex in Irvine, California. Well, Nate, today's a make-up game for Santa Barbara, but they are riding high after a couple big wins against the Slow Blues.
Not only big wins, but close games. Obviously, Saturday went into extra innings, 5-4 win, and then yesterday the Sturs were down by 3 runs entering the bottom of the 8th. Thanks to Terrence Kill and Addison Klepsch, they took the lead. Steele leaves 3 straight outs in the top of the 9th to get another 5-4 victory. So definitely feeling really good going up against the team in the Riptide, who the last time they played, it was another thriller, maybe the game of the season so far, Hunter. 5 runs from the Sturs in the bottom of the 8th, 5 runs to tie it from the Riptide at the top of the 9th, and then Terrence Kill walks it off in the bottom of the 9th. So expect fireworks today, folks.
And here's the lineup for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off, Addison Klepsch to bat second, Brenton Clark. Batting third, Terrence Kill. Batting fourth, Easton Mumaw. In the 5 spot, Cole Chamberlain. Batting sixth, the DH, Brady Dallimore. Batting seventh, Caden Miller. Easton Ruley will be the number 8 batter, and Makani Nabarro will bat at the 9 spot, with Nick Abraham getting his first start of the season for Santa Barbara. But here comes Addison Klepsch, the Sturs wearing their all grays, the OC Riptide wearing their all whites. The starting pitcher for OC will be Dane Grant, a left-handed starter, so he's already on the hill and winds up the first pitch to the right-handed batter, Klepsch. The fastball will miss upstairs for ball 1, and it's a left-handed starting pitcher today, Nate.
Yeah, that might be something to be a little concerned about if you're the Sturs. It's a lefty-heavy lineup, as we mentioned time and time again this season.
Next pitch is going to be down. It's now 2-0 rather for Addison Klepsch.
And Dane Grant, 4-pitch mix, got a fastball that's in the upper 80s, 12-6 curve, a slider, and then a 2-seam fastball as well.
5 lefties in the lineup today for Santa Barbara. We'll see how they fare. Here comes the next pitch, and this time it's a slider on the inside edge. 2-1 for Klepsch.
Notably starting things off with the righty, Klepsch took the lead with a single in the bottom of the 8th last time he played.
2-1 delivery on the ground left side to the third baseman. Camden Sauce holds his ground and fires over to first. The throw is a little bit low, but a good pick by the first baseman, and Klepsch is retired, 1 away in the first.
It was a very slow throw, it looked like, from up here. It kind of was looping around, and it took its time. Just got there in time, though. The Riptide getting a little lucky that time.
That's going to bring up Brenton Clark, and you were with us yesterday when the Sturs were at home. Maddox Mandino playing his final game of the regular season, so Klepsch in the top spot, Clark batting second. Comes the first pitch. Brenton squared around to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a fastball in for ball 1.
But notably, that's because the man on deck, Terrence Kill, is hitting in the 3-hole today, first time all season, which I really like that decision from Coach Bintard.
1 away, and the base is clear, underway in the first. Here comes the next pitch. It's in there on a fastball, so it's now 1-1 for Brenton Clark. The number 2 batter today, hitting .362 this season for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Third baseman pinched in a fraction, now retreats. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Clark squares around to bunt again, but takes a fastball for a strike. 1-2.
Dan Grant's been a really effective pitcher this season for the Riptide. 1.35 ERA, yet to surrender a walk.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Brenton Clark. It's chopped a high hopper over to second. Charging in is Luke Johnson. Fields a big second hop and a laser over to first base to get Brenton Clark. Not an easy play after that ball was jacked a couple times in the dirt, but a good play as Clark is retired for 3.
Not an easy play at all, Hunter. That was a bouncer. Kind of took a couple of weird hops, and Johnson had it under his direction the entire time.
Just underway in the first, no score, and Santa Barbara now bring up Terrence Kill. Bases clear, 2 down in the opening inning. Kill bats from the right side. Here's the pitch. Fastball's on the inside edge. Strike 1.
See, the last pitch that Kill faced was yesterday. He swung at it, and it was a bases-clearing double that tied the game. So he's rolling hot here today.
Comes the next pitch, and that is fouled outside of third base, taking a couple hops and rolls its front in front of the third base dugout where the OC Riptide are housed here at the Great Park Sports Complex. A little bit of a warmer day today compared to what Santa Barbara has been playing at. Low 80s still at first pitch. Now here comes an 0-2 pitch to Kill, and a fastball will miss upstairs. 1-2.
About that swing yesterday, he swung at a first pitch, was something we don't see a lot from TK, but he was like, if I get a good first pitch, I'm swinging at it every time.
But 2 down. Here's a 1-2, and it's grounded outside of third base. Man's at 1-2, and it's just been so great to see Terrence Kill. Of course, last time these two teams played, TK walked off Orange County, the first walk-off of the season for Santa Barbara in the middle of June, and he comes up with timely hits when the Sturs need it most.
And there's no better attribute to have as a hitter than that clutch, timely hitting.
So Dane Grant, the starting left-handed pitcher, with 2 down, the base is clear in the first. Winds up a 1-2 pitch, and it's lifted into center field, drifting over. It's a long run for Camden Burdick, and it will go out of his glove, and going to second base is Terrence Kill, and it looked like that ball got into the webbing of Camden Burdick, but it just squirted out, and as a result, Terrence Kill down to second. It's going to go down as an error, and a 2-base error at that, and the Sturs have their first runner in scoring position.
Yeah, absolutely the right call from the scorers to go with an error. It was a tough play to make. It's kind of hit into that little shallow left center gap, and Burdick covered the ground, but It just fell out of his mitt.
So kill aboard on the error, able to get down to second base, and that's going to bring up Easton Mumont to bat from the left side. Here comes a pitch, and TK takes off, and the ball is on the ground up the middle. Here comes Tyler Hall, and the shortstop fields it behind second base and will retire Easton Mumont on one pitch. The Stars get their first base runner, but come up empty. Bottom of the inning we go. Nick Abraham out to the hill for Santa Barbara.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back in Orange County, California, the starting pitcher today for Santa Barbara going to the bottom of the first. No score between the Stars and the Riptide will be Nick Abraham, just his second game, Nate, and his first start of the season.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. The last appearance was back home last week against the San Diego Waves. Almost 2 weeks ago, actually. And it was a very solid inning. Struck out, no base runners allowed. Really gutsy after that long of a rest to go with him as your starter. To be fair, though, he did get some experience as a starter at Tennessee. His one start came against Radford back in March in a non-conference game and did pretty all right. But this is a big moment to come in here, start of the week. Really your first chance to show out for your team after just one relief inning a game that was basically already decided.
And the defense behind him, Easton Mumont will be at third. Addison Klepsch will be at short. Easton Rulli, the second baseman. Caden Miller back at first. The catcher is Cole Chamberlain. In left, Makani Nabarro. Center field, Terrence Kill. And out in right, Brenton Clark. And when we talk about relievers that are making their first debut and first starts, Zach James yesterday had his first start in his fourth appearance. Quality start and great stuff from the TCU man.
Yeah, but definitely a different occasion because, you know, James, that was, as you said, his fourth appearance.
True.
And he had a lot of starts back at TCU, 4 starts. Abraham only had 1 start in the spring, and granted, he had a very decorated high school career that I'm sure we'll touch on in a second. But I'm really curious to see how he'll handle himself. He definitely does have the goods to be a starter, though, for the Stars. 5-pitch mix. You really only need a couple of those work, maybe 3, to have successful starts and be able to go up and down the lineup multiple times.
So here is Bradley Navarro to lead things off for the OC Riptide. The first pitch is a fastball chopped right in front of the first base dugout where Santa Barbara is housed. 0-1. It's going to be Navarro, Dans, and MacArthur scheduled for OC. No score in the bottom of the first inning. Navarro hitting .440, one of the standout players, top spot in the order for Brian Evans. Here comes an 0-1 pitch, and the fastball is rolled over to the first baseman. Caden Miller will field it and flip into the pitcher covering first base. It'll go down as a 3-1 ground out, and a quick first out for Nick Abraham.
Quick out one as well, so that's always nice to get as a starter for your first out. And Navarro just kind of grounded that one over, very lightly over to Caden Miller. Easy play to make for the first baseman who, coming off an off day, should be fresh over there on that side of the infield.
And that's going to now bring up another left-handed batter, Carter Dans. 273 hitter, stands in, scoreless ball game, bottom of the first. Base is clear, 1 away. Here comes the pitch from Abraham. Heater is through the hole into left field. 1 pitch and a base hit into left. A worm burner through the 5-6 hole. And the OC Riptide have their first base runner.
And Dans is a guy who came in here rolling hot. He's gotten a hit in 5 of his last 6 games, make that 6 of his last 7. Just squeezes past Easton Mumont over at third, and easy 1-out knock for the DH.
So 1 on 1 out. No score in the bottom of the first. Here is Grant MacArthur, first right-handed batter to face the right-handed pitcher, Nick Abraham. The delivery, and it's going to be a slider down for ball 1. MacArthur hitting .353. And Carter Dan's not the biggest running game in the world. He's only attempted 1 stolen base, which was successful this year. He is held on by Miller. Next pitch is chopped over to third. Mumah slings it over to second. They get one, and over to first to turn 2. A 5-4-3 double play as MacArthur grounds into it, and that will eliminate the 1-out single by Carter Dans, and great work by Abraham, inducing the ground balls, and through 1. No score from Orange County.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
On to the second inning. No score between the Riptide and the Santa Barbara Foresters. The Stars will have 5, 6, 7 scheduled. Chamberlain, Dallimore, and Caden Miller. And they will get their first look at Dane Grant, the starting left-hander who goes to school right near this area from UC, goes to school at UC Irvine. Very close to where we are here at the Great Park Sports Complex. So here's Chamberlain to bat from the left side. It'll be lefty, righty, lefty to face the starting left-hander for the OC Riptide. Here's the pitch and the fastball on the outside edge. Strike 1.
Yeah, of course, the Anteater Sport, one of the better baseball programs in the Big West. A pitcher for the Riptide, Grant, didn't get any run last year with UC Irvine.
Here comes the next pitch, and it's going to be a slider missing down and away. So 1-1 to the leadoff man, no score. Just underway in the top of the second. Chamberlain hitting .306, batting 5th today, and doing the catching. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. It is going to be a slider missing down for ball 2.
My goodness, Chamberlain has been so good recently. The pop's been there. He's gotten on base really well, and OBP above 500 still. He's been really impressive, both as a catcher and as a hitter.
2-1 pitch is going to miss upstairs. Chamberlain moved his hands skyward to get out of the way. That is ball 3 to the leadoff man. As Santa Barbara had 1 base runner in the opening inning. It was on an error, which got Terrence Kill down to second. So Chamberlain digs back in with the Stars wearing their all-gray uniforms and the all-whites for the OC Riptide. 3-1 pitch is in there on a check swing from Chamberlain. Full count.
Yesterday against the Blues, Chamberlain went 1 for 3, a couple of walks as well. So he's been seeing the ball really well recently.
Grant shakes off a couple payoff pitch, is off speed and misses inside, and Chamberlain is aboard via a leadoff walk for Santa Barbara to start the second inning.
And if there's one thing that Grant's done a really good job of this season, it's been limiting walks. That's his first walk he's given up all year for 7 2/3 innings.
His first walk in comparison to 10 strikeouts. Fantastic ratio in that department, but his first blemish on the year as Chamberlain is aboard. To bring up the DH, Brady Dallimore. Here's the pitch, and the heater will skip past the catcher. No, it's going to hit the foot, it looks like, of Dallimore, and he's going to be aboard. So the first 2 men reach base, and Dallimore hit by a pitch.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
I mean, this has to be pretty uncharacteristic of Dane Grant. gave up the walk on 5 pitches and then hits the next batter first pitch. 2 on, nobody out here.
No score in the second. Third baseman's now pinched in for Caden Miller. Is going to take a slider down for ball 1.
And ideally, going back to that at bat with Cole Chamberlain, he's the leadoff man. He's a lefty. You should be thinking that's an easy out for me as the pitcher, right? As the southpaw.
He's got another lefty right now. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and the slider is going to miss down and away. And just like that, Caden Miller, who's so far his time in Santa Barbara, has gone 2 for 14 with 3 walks, now finds himself ahead 2-0 in a scoreless game in the top of the second. Santa Barbara looked to strike first. Chamberlain second, Dallimore first. In this lefty-lefty matchup, here comes the 2-0 pitch from Dane Grant as the fastball on the outside edge, 2-1.
Yeah, but he can really hit the ball. Definitely going to take some time to adjust to the wood bat league. It
Yes.
always does for players. This is his first season of summer ball. But he was a really impressive bat in college of UTSA.
Infield at double play depth. The third baseman is pinched in a fraction. 2-1 delivery. Slider down and away. Ball 3, and Dane Grant's going to have to be careful. Easton Ruley, the right-handed batter, stands on deck in jeopardy of loading up the bases. Nobody out in the second. Dane Grant now comes set. Working from the third base side of the hill. Looks to second. And a pickoff move back to Chamberlain. Shortstop went back to make a play on him. But Cole back in safely, no problem.
Colin couldn't grab that ball either. He's got to be careful on that, especially on a pretty weak pickoff move from Grant, the pitcher.
Santa Barbara have a chance to put up the first runs in this ball game. Here comes a 3-1 delivery. Fastball is lifted into left field, shallow left. Montgomery, the left fielder, moves in, but he can't make the play as the shortstop went out. Coming around from second base is Chamberlain. He will score with ease, and an RBI single for Caden Miller. And Santa Barbara now lead 1-0 after Cole Chamberlain plates the first run of the ball game.
A couple of times now where a ball's just kind of dropped into a weird place in the Riptide outfield, and the Stars have taken advantage. Last time in the last inning, it was an error that got killed at second base. They couldn't do anything with that. That time, though, just drops into shallow left field. Both Holland and the left fielder Montgomery go for it, and no one could come up with it, and that leads to an easy run.
Here's Easton Ruley. First pitch is a fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. Now 1-0 ball game. Chamberlain scores. Dallimore now at second. Caden Miller at first. How many can Santa Barbara push him with nobody out in the top of the second? Really, who took a first pitch strike rather. Now see an 0-1 delivery. It's another fastball, nearly grazes the left hip of Easton. It's 1-1.
Ruley's been hit by a couple of pitches already this season. I'm sure he's trying to do everything in his power to avoid getting tagged again.
Really, the number 8 batter today for Bill Pintard. First and second, nobody out. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is down for ball 2. And yet again, Dane Grant, the starting left-handed pitcher, falling behind in counts early. In case you're wondering, another lefty is on deck. The 5th one in this lineup in the form of Makani Nabarro. Santa Barbara, a 1-run lead in the top of the second. 2-1 delivery as the slider is located on Easton Ruley, 2-2.
And that's not going to serve you well as the starter to get behind in counts early. Your job is to just get through innings and eat them up and get quick outs. And by falling behind in that counts, you're not helping yourself doing that.
First and second, nobody out. Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Easton. It's chopped outside of third base on a couple high hops. Remains 2-2.
Ruley's been really impressive this season with runners in scoring position. He's got a man on second, a man on first. One of the team leaders in RBIs with 14.
One of the best on this roster. He has Dallimore at second. Miller is at first. 1 run in and a 1-run ball game, top of the second. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. A high fly ball into center. Burdick will slide over into the left center field gap. He will make the play, and the runners will hold. That is the first out in the second.
Smart decision by the runners to hold there as well. It was kind of it was a very easy play to make. He got a good run on it. Was ready to hurl it over the third, and Dallimore smartly headed back to second.
And you
No
look at
problem.
the dimensions of this park, 400 straight away, one of the deeper parks in the CCL, 225 down the lines, 260.
325.
Rather, yes. And then-
225 would be quite shallow.
and then 362 in the power alleys. But the first pitch now to Makani Nabarro upstairs on a fastball. That is ball one, but it's in there for a strike, nothing in one, rather.
It's a very uniform dimensions, though. Everything's the same on each side, basically symmetrical.
0-1 pitch, slider, and a good check swing on Makani Nabarro. It is 1-1. Dallimore second. Caden Miller at first. A run in for Santa Barbara. They lead 1-0 in the top of the second. How many can they push in this second frame? Look to punish Dane Grant for the free passes. 1-1 pitch is going to be down on a slider. 2-1.
To be fair, that was something that the Stars struggled with yesterday against the Blues, was leaving runners on base. They had multiple innings, 3 or 4 maybe, where they left multiple guys on the bags.
Look to second from Grant, and he fires home a 2-1 pitch to Nabarro and swing and a miss on the slider, 2-2.
Connie Nabarro is a guy that, as the season's gone on, he's kind of seen his minutes diminish, but I really like him as a batter. Whenever he makes contact, it is loud off the bat.
Can he put something in play with 2 on, 1 out, 2-2 pitch is a fastball on the outside edge. Called strike 3, and Nabarro will go down looking. 2 down in the second.
It took one of the Riptide's best strikeout artists 9 batters to get his first of the day. Came against the lefty, as you expect. Good confidence booster for Dane Grant.
1 run in. 1-0 to lead for the Stars, but back to the top of the order, and Addison Klepsch. First pitch is a fastball located down the middle, strike 1. Dallimore at second. Miller remains at first. There's been a walk, a hit batter, and an RBI single. The first 3 men all reach base, but the next 2 have since been retired by Dane Grant. Here comes an 0-1 pitch now to Klepsch. He spits on a changeup, but is in there for a strike, 0-2. And if Grant can get out of this inning, limiting the damage to just a single run could be a huge boost for OC. So they'll have their middle 3 scheduled at the bottom of this inning. 0-2 pitch is swung on and rolled back towards the first base on deck circle, foul off the bat of Klepsch. Remains 0-2.
Klepsch definitely has to tighten up here. Grant definitely starting to feel himself, I would say, Got that first strikeout, and he's ahead here, 0-2. It's going to be tough to get Klepsch out, though, on the lefty versus righty matchup.
Klepsch is a tough out, regardless. But now as the 0-2 pitch, check swing misses up high and appealed down to the first base umpire on a swing, no swing. So it is ball 1 to Addison Klepsch. Dallimore remains at second. Miller remains at first. 2 down now in the second. Santa Barbara by a run. Grant looks to second, fires home a 1-2 pitch to Klepsch. Check swing, but called strike 3. Would have been likely a swing as well on Klepsch. But back-to-back Ks for Dane Grant. And after letting the first 3 men reach base, he retires the next 3. And through 1.5, Santa Barbara on top of 1-0 over Orange County.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Bottom of the second inning from Great Park Sports Complex in Irvine, California. The Sturs and OC playing a makeup game from earlier in this year when the Santa Barbara Foresters had bus complications that occurred on June 17th. Santa Barbara tried to make it down here to Orange County, but could not. As a result, they have a 1-0 lead now through 1.5. Nick Abraham will wind up the first pitch to Zach Crandall. It's going to miss upstairs to the number 4 batter as Crandall, Johnson, Montgomery will be scheduled to see Abraham for the first time.
And I don't know if it's because of deja vu or not, but today everyone had to drive themselves to this game.
Next pitch is chopped to the third baseman. Mumma charges in. Tough play, and he will retire the man at first base. Great play by Mumma. That ball not particularly hard hit. Long run for the third baseman, and that is the first out in the bottom of the second.
He's already turned a double play today, and that was a really tough one to get from Mumma. He had to cover a lot of ground. Basically, it acted like a bunt almost. It was very much in the infield grass, and Mumma covered the ground, got the throw in time, flashing that defense time and time again, Easton.
That's going to now bring up Luke Johnson. The first pitch is a fastball turned on and down the left field line. Foul. That's where all the extra equipment is housed here at the batting bubble. And all of their equipment down that left field line. It is a 1-0 lead for Santa Barbara. One down now in the bottom of the second, as Nick Abraham did give up a base hit but induced a double play in the last inning. Next pitch is going to miss inside. That is now 1-1.
Abraham is a guy who very decorated high school career.
Next pitch is flared up the middle, and Klepsch made a diving play, but it gets past him, the shortstop, into center field. A flare single that just evaded the glove of the shortstop, diving behind second base. It looked like for a good second he was about to make the play, diving out, but just comes up inches short.
Yeah, that's a tough one to make, Hunter. I mean, he wasn't in the right position to it. He was kind of a little bit more towards third baseline than he was toward the middle of the infield, and then that one just hit right up the middle in the air. Reached out to make the grab, but just got past him. Really unlucky for Addison Klepsch.
So here's now Reed Montgomery, 1 on, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a fastball for a strike. Montgomery bats from the left side against the right-hander Abraham. Been a pretty quick tempo as well from Abraham. We've seen that from a lot of the UC Santa Barbara pitchers, but Abraham, he looks over to first and about to fire home the 0-1 pitch, but checks over to the runner at first. He slides in head first safely.
And I think that's something that, you know, maybe the Sturs pitching staff, Scott Murray, told him to do, because the most effective pitcher against the Riptide this season.
Here comes an 0-1 pitch, and it's on the ground left side, through into left field, and back-to-back singles for Reed Montgomery, coming with 1 out in the second.
That one was kind of the first one where I was like, okay, that's a hard hit ball. That's a tough one to get. He's the best contact Riptide batter has made against Abraham so far.
Santa Barbara lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second, but with 1 out, back-to-back singles for OC as they are now threatening. Now with 3 hits on the day to bring up the number 7 batter, Camden Sauce, to bat from the right side. Infield the double play depth. Here comes the first pitch, swing and a miss, late on the fastball, 0-1.
Back to that point about Abraham's pace, it was something that was working really well for Frank Camarillo.
Yes.
When he went 5 scoreless, only allowed 1 hit on opening night against the Riptide at the start of the season.
And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Runner from second will go down to third. It's a good throw from Chamberlain. It's a little high and safe is the runner. It did drift a little towards second base. Looked like he had a nice release time, but just a little bit off target and a little bit high on the second base side with the third base bag. And Luke Johnson has a stolen base and now runners on the corners.
It really was a great pop from Chamberlain, and you thought maybe that would have got him, but the throw was just offline, and just like that, runner scoring and 90 feet away from scoring.
Sauce did take strike 2, so he's behind in the count, the right-handed batter. And a pickoff move over to first base. It was a good pickoff move, but on his toes is Reed Montgomery back in safely.
But I think the crucial thing as well is that the double play ball is still in effect here, and Abraham's already induced a couple of weak contact up the middle of the infield. This
0-2 pitch is on the ground left side, past the third baseman. The runner from first was taking off. The man at third will score with ease, and going down to second is Camden Sauce, and we are now tied at 1. And OC with 1 out in the second now have 2 in scoring position and a run in.
Yeah, that was a weak hit ball as well, but Easton Muma was just not in the right position for it. He was a little bit more in, and it was right down the line at third base side, and it just skipped past him.
Tied at 1 now in the bottom, the second, and third with only a single out. Here comes the first pitch to Holland. It's going to be a breaking ball missing for ball 1 down low. So just like that, Orange County put together 3 straight hits after the leadoff man was retired by Nick Abraham, and they're looking for more runs to break this 1-1 tie. 1-0 pitch, swinging a miss late on the fastball, a ball and a strike.
Abraham's really got to settle in here if he can. This is a tough position to be in. 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 out, but you know you can just, you've done a good job getting some weak contact before. Do it again.
1-1 is outside of third base on a rope, and ricochets off the fencing down that left field line for strike 2. Some shadows from the press box inching onto the infield. Also some big stadium lights casting shadows from the third baseline onward into center field as the sun is setting to the left and more kind of behind the third base dugout here at the Great Park Sports Complex. Second and third, only a single out, tied game, bottom of the second. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Nick Abraham. Holland goes down swinging, 2 down in the second.
Big second out for Nick Abraham. Not only to get that second out, but just the confidence, that first strikeout of the day. It's a monkey that you get off your back, and now you're kind of feeling good with just 1 more out that you have to get this inning against the 9-hole hitter.
That's going to bring up Camden Burdick, second and third, tied game in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch, and the slider is located on the outside edge to the right-handed batter for strike number 1.
And Burdick's a guy who has struggled with strikeouts this year as well. He's had 12 strikeouts and 22 at-bats this year.
Hitting 190 this season as the center fielder and the number 9 batter. And Abraham looking to finish off the second with the 9-hole hitter, not bringing it around to the top of the order. Strike 1 pitch on its way and located on the slider, 0-2.
And the good thing is with a guy like Abraham as well is if you've seen like a couple batters in a row where it's not working, you have 5 pitches you can go to. You can just change up what you're giving the batters and see if that works better for you.
With 2 down, 2 on, 0-2 pitches down and away. That's ball 1.
And that time did try the slider, but just too low and out of his zone, and Burdick was not fooled.
Should Burdick reach, Navarro top of the order is next. We are tied at 1, bottom the second, and 2 in scoring position for Orange County. Abraham, a 1-2 pitch, slider down and away. Good keep by Chamberlain, 2-2.
Tried to get him with the exact same pitch, and Burdick having none of it.
3 straight hits in this inning for Orange County. The last man struck out. It's now 2-2. Abraham fires home the pitch, and it's just away. Good-looking pitch, just off the plate, full count. Runners are going to be on the move. 2 down, tied game. Bottom of the second inning, second and third, and here comes a 3-2 pitch to Camden Burdick, and it's fouled outside of third base. Nearly took the legs off Reed Montgomery, the runner at third. Remains 3-2. Big spot for the starting right-hander. Just his second appearance of the season for Santa Barbara. His first start. And he will wind up another 3-2 pitch, swing, and just tapping it foul is Burdick. Just barely stays alive.
Barely. Had to get down to his knees to reach that one. Tapped it foul, and we get another 3-2.
Abraham working from the first base side of the hill. Another 3-2 delivery to Burdick, and this is on the ground left side. Here comes Easton Mumal, fields it in the hole to third baseman. The throw on target, and the side retired. OC leave a pair stranded in scoring position, but they do bring in 1. Through 2, tied at 1 between Riptide and Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Now into the third inning, tied ball game between the Foresters and the Riptide. Clark Kilmumaw, that is 2, 3, and 4, will be scheduled to face Dane Grant for the second time this ball game. Go lefty, righty, lefty.
Clark hitting from a different position than what he's normally used to.
Comes the first pitch, and it's going to miss inside. That is ball 1 to Brenton, who is 0 for 1. Ground out to second today.
I think if you look at his profile as a batter, it makes a lot of sense to put him in the 2-hole spot.
1-0 pitch, and the fastball will miss inside, ball 2.
Another guy with a lot of speed, can get on base really, really well. He's basically just a pseudo leadoff man and really is acting as the leadoff man this inning.
Brenton hitting .362 entering today. He's ahead 2-0. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be located on off speed on the inside edge for strike 1. Tied game to start off the third inning. This lefty-lefty matchup, 2-1 pitch, is a fastball lifted down the left field line. Long run for the left fielder, and Montgomery will not be able to make the play, and that ball is rolling down into the corner. Rounding second is Clark, going to third base and putting on the brakes. It is a leadoff triple for Santa Barbara.
Brendan Clark and opposite field hits. You can't name a more iconic duo than that. It's like peanut butter and jelly. I was a high looper, and it just barely stayed fair. There was a lot of ground to cover for the left fielder, Montgomery, and he slid out to make the grab, and he couldn't get it. And ball reached the fence, and Clark, with that speed, took 3 very easily. And just like that, leadoff man is 90 feet away from scoring with one of the best situational hitters in the league, Terrence Keel, to the plate.
So here's TK. And at third, nobody out. The pitch, and it's going to be a fastball missing in. That is ball 1. Terrence reached on error earlier today. It was an E8. Got to the second base bag on the error by the center fielder. Chance to bring home the go-ahead run. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is on the outside corner. TK, a little bit of a look towards the plate umpire saying maybe not, but it was strike 1, a ball and a strike.
But what I love about Terrence Kill is he's always smiling in his at-bats.
Great demeanor on the bench and at the plate. 1-1 pitch is lined up the middle. It is a base hit for Terrence Kill. From third, Brenton Clark will score the second run of the day and an RBI single for TK.
Yeah, right up the middle of the infield. Hard hit ball. The infielders had no chance getting to that one, and Terrence Kill on first just like that, scores a run. Stars have a lead yet again, and with Kill's speed at first, we've already seen him take off once today in an attempted stolen base. Wouldn't be surprised to see it again.
Batters now east to Mumaw. First pitch is a fastball located on the outside edge. 0-1. Santa Barbara now have a 2-1 advantage in the top of the third inning. Kill at first, nobody out. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. There goes Terrence Kill. It's on the ground. This ball is hit to the second baseman. That would have been a double play if TK did not leave early. Moomaw will ground out 4-3, but Kill safely into second base.
Yeah, that was a tailor-made double play, Hunter. I mean, it was a very weak hit right to the second baseman, but Kill took off and is now in scoring position with just one down.
So aggressive base running pays off to save the Foresters from a double play. So man at second, one away and a run in. Sturs lead 2-1, top of the third, and the batter is now Cole Chamberlain to hit from the left side against the lefty pitcher. There goes TK again. First pitch is in there for a strike, and the throw is wide. Nearly got away into left field, but Terrence Kill will slide in safely. That could have been a costly error, and Terrence Kill would have been coming home to score a run, but he will be held up at third with a stolen base.
Would have been a very, very costly error. Just like that, Kill 90 feet away from scoring. All it takes is a hit into the outfield, and that scores him.
But it was strike one on Chamberlain, who worked a walk earlier today. Next pitch is a slider missing away from the left-handed starter. 1-1. Chamberlain has brought home 10 runs this season. By the way, TK with his RBI single, that was his 7th RBI this year. As Chamberlain looks for his 11th. 1-1, check swing, but a fastball located on the outside half for strike 2.
Only 7. That feels off to me.
Might have been also in that suspended game as well.
Right. That still feels like a very low number for a guy like Terrence Kill.
1 on, 1 out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that is down. Great cover by Zach Crandall. That ball skipped in front of the plate and knocked down off the armor by the catcher. That's 2-2.
I feel like the defense behind the plate for both the Foresters and their opponents has gotten better as the season's gone on. You're seeing a lot less runs come across the plate based on wild pitches and pass balls.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Chamberlain, and it will just miss, I think, on the inside half of the plate. Good-looking pitch, but a better take by Chamberlain, full count.
That was a really, really tough take. I would have swung at that Amari up here in the press box.
Hills at 30, brought home a run. Sturs lead 2-1 with 1 out. Here comes a 3-2 delivery to Chamberlain. Just fouls it back. Looks like it grazed off the glove of the catcher, Crandall. Remains full. Both pitchers have given up some hits today. Back-to-back hits for Santa Barbara started off this third inning. Already 1 run in. And now the 3-2 delivery again to Chamberlain, and that is called strike 3. Looked like Cole thought he had first base, but it clips the inside edge. He will go down looking. 2 down in the third.
He took a couple. It's really, really close pitches. That went both ways, and Chamberlain was playing a bit with fire there and didn't pay off that time. And just like that, actually, we're getting a mound visit right now on Dane Grant. I would not be surprised to see them maybe play a matchup here. It's a lefty versus a righty. Dallimore DHing today. Kind of a platoon bat, as we've seen throughout the season with Caleb Hoover. If it's a lefty, they're going to go with Dallimore in the lineup. If it's a righty, they're going to go with Hoover. And that makes a lot of sense because Dallimore is just a power bat that mashes lefties.
And there's a right-hander up in the pen for the OC Riptide.
I believe the first man out is going to be Nathan Hellman for OC.
But it's still a man at third base for Santa Barbara, 2 out in the third, and the batter is now Brady Dallimore. First pitch will be on the inside edge. Good first pitch delivery from the lefty starter, Dane Grant, who's conceded a run in this inning. Is a 2-1 Forester lead, top of the third. Can they make it 3-1 with TK at third base? Comes in 0-1 pitch, and it looked like curveball that missed high, 1-1.
Last time around, Dallimore got hit by a pitch on the very first pitch of the at-bat. This is his first time really getting a good look at Dane Grant.
1-1 delivery, and that's going to miss down for ball 2.
And granted, you do have a couple bases open here. But with the man who's already gotten an RBI hit today on deck, you want to get this out.
2-1 pitch as Dallimore will take it on the inside edge. It was a fastball, 2-1. Santa Barbara, 2-1 advantage, top of the third. Terrence Kill is at third base. Brought home Brenton Clark after a leadoff triple. But now Dalmore will see the 2-2 pitch, and it's a drive into center field as the center fielder will move over, and a line drive straight to the center fielder, Camden Burdick, to retire the side. 2 hits to start the inning for the Sturs, but the next 3 retired. They're 2.5. Santa Barbara on top 2-1 over OC.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. As Nick Abraham, the starting pitcher, remains on the hill for the Sturs, he'll face the top of the order, Navarro, Dans, and MacArthur, with 26 pitches now being thrown for the starter for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but he had a very tough last inning. Gave up 3 straight hits to 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Riptide lineup. But he's going up against the top of the order, an order that he had a lot of success against. He got quick out one against Navarro, and then had MacArthur ground out into a double play that retired both him and Dan's. Got to feel confident here if you are Nick Abraham.
He'll be facing lefty, righty to start off this inning. Here's the first pitch, and it's a heater chopped over to the right side. Here's the first baseman fielding it. Covering is the pitcher, and he was able to get that back foot on. Barely, he had to contort himself to field that throw and got the back right foot just able onto the first base bag to record out number 1.
Both times Navarro's gone down 3-1. Great play by the first baseman Miller. Covered a lot of ground, and good job by Abraham adjusting, getting over to the first base bag in time, and making the snag for the first out. Very, very awkward land, though, on the bag. He barely got that back foot down.
2-1 Forster lead. Bottom of the 3rd. Here comes the first pitch to Dans. It's a heater on the outside corner, strike 1. Dans had the first hit of the day for OC. Base hit into left. There have been 4 hits so far for the Riptide, 3 for Santa Barbara. 0-1. Swing and a miss late on the fastball. Nothing and 2.
A really well hit ball at that, right past the glove of Muma over at third.
Base is clear, 1 out. 0-2 pitch, and got him looking on the changeup. Dans will go down looking, 2 out in the 3rd. Good pitch from Abraham, his second K.
Great pitch from Abraham. This is something that I felt like he needed after that long inning last time out. He's got the ground out on the first pitch of the inning to Navarro, and just like that, 3 straight strikes to Dans to retire him.
Base is clear, 2 down. Sturs lead 2-1, bottom of the 3rd. First pitch now to MacArthur. It's like his slider on the outside corner. Nothing in 1. And Nate, when you look at every half inning, the last 3 half innings, there's been 1 run scored in each, and Abraham looks to break that trend right here. 2 quick outs, and now an 0-1 pitch to MacArthur is going to miss inside, 1-1.
Yeah, that's a trend I'm sure he'd be happy to break.
Yes.
As the pitcher, not allow any runs across the plate. And last time MacArthur was up, he obviously did have that ground out double play.
1-1 on the ground to the second baseman. Ruley ranges over, and the throw will be well in time. And a 1-2-3 3rd inning for Nick Abraham. We're through 3, and Santa Barbara 2-1 advantage over the Riptide.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Now in the fourth inning from Irvine, California, makeup game between the OC Riptide and the Santa Barbara Foresters. Both teams playing in their 19th contest of the CCL season. Dane Grant, the starter, chased from this ball game and now enter the right-handed reliever, Nathan Hellman.
Yeah, this guy, Nathan Hellman, has been dominant. Let me tell you, 9 1/3 inning pitch, no run surrendered so far. And the last time he played, went 2 innings, faced 6 batters against slow and struck out all 6.
We'll see how Santa Barbara can fare as they lead 2-1 to start off the fourth inning. It's going to be Miller, Rulli, Nabarro, the bottom 3 scheduled. Here comes the first pitch as Miller will foul off a fastball directly behind the plate. 0-1. You can just even see on the velocity of that one a little bit more than Dane Grant, the starter.
Yeah, a guy that touches the mid-90s. That fastball's going to be sitting between 91 and 94. And then he's also got a curveball in his mix that he'll use to get the swing and misses.
Here comes the 0-1 to the leadoff man, Caden Miller. It's another fastball, and this one will miss well high over the catcher's mitt, 1-1.
That was way over the catcher's mitt. That was a fastball that just got away from him. But it's a fastball that's got a lot of spin. It's one that can induce swing and misses. As we've seen, strikeouts more, fastballs more and more becoming strikeout pitches that get swing and misses.
Here comes the 1-1 delivery, as Miller will see a ball high and away for ball 2. Miller had an RBI single that was just kind of floated over the heads of the infield into left field for an RBI single, and that was also his first run batted in this summer for Caden Miller. He leads off this inning. Stars lead 2-1. And here comes a 2-1 pitch to Miller. Fastball is down and away at the knees, ball 3.
Hellman definitely kind of taking his time here a little more. He's got a very slow rhythm to him.
He's working from the first base side of the pitcher's plate. Here comes a 3-1 delivery, and that is upstairs, ball 4. So Caden Miller aboard for the second time today. RBI single, and now a lead-off walk. Of the 4 innings, 3 times, the Stars have their leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, and that's been the recipe for success a lot of a season for the Stars is get the leadoff man on, move him around the bases, whether that's because of stolen bases or walks, and then drive guys in for singles and have their speed beat you.
Batters now Easton Rulli, nobody out, 1 on. First pitch is a fastball in the inside corner, or strike 1 on Easton.
And it's a position that Hellman's not really been used to being. He's not given up a run this season, so this is a lot of pressure for him to come into, and just like that, his leadoff man is on.
And a large lead for Miller is now the 0-1 pitch. Nearly grazes the chin of Easton Rulian. We do not want to see deja vu after what happened in Pasadena in the middle of June. Easton got away from it, but that ball was very close. It's 1-1.
And that one would have gone for, the last one kind of hit him under the eye into the cheek. That one was going straight to the chin.
Easton stands back in. Doesn't look shocked at any point. Runner goes. Next pitch will miss inside. The throw down will be late and a stolen base for Caden Miller. He is now in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the fourth.
Caden Miller is a guy that didn't really, flash the stolen base capability at UTSA, and it makes sense. You don't really usually see your first baseman taking off and stealing bags.
Third stolen base of the day for the Santa Barbara Foresters. They lead 2-1, top 4, nobody out. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. The runner goes again, and it's flared up on the infield. This might be 2, and it will be. Catching the high fly ball is the second baseman and touching second to double up the runner. 2 down in the inning.
I don't think Miller realized what just happened. He was kind of looked over and
They didn't.
shook. Like, what just went on? I thought would they go foul or something? I have to head back? And, yeah, you do have to head back to the dugout. Really unlucky for Ken Miller to go down just like that.
So with 2 down, base is now clear. Here comes the first pitch to Nabarro. That's going to be a fastball for a strike. And just to clarify, Easton really kind of popped up on the infield, kind of fluttered. The runner had already taken off. Miller was in at third base, and he didn't see it. He was standing and looking towards the third base dugout, and you just have to touch second base for Luke Johnson to double him up to turn 2. Now the 0-1 Nabarro sprays it down the left field line. Maybe a chance in foul ground for Sauce, but it's going to drift into the OC bullpen. Strike 2.
That's really unlucky for the Stars, man. Could have easily kick-started something. A runner at second still would have been just 1 out if he didn't go. But instead, 2 down, nobody on.
2-1 lead for Santa Barbara, and here comes an 0-2 pitch to Nabarro, and he just chops it behind home plate on a check swing that just grazed the barrel. Means nothing in 2. Dane Grant, the starting left-hander, on the hook currently. Went 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of which earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. The final line for the OC starter. With 2 out, here comes the 0-2 pitch. Off speed, got Nabarro to swing and miss right through it. And Hellman, after giving up a leadoff walk, only has to face 3. Through 3.5, Santa Barbara, a 2-1 advantage over the Riptide.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 4th inning, and the Santa Barbara Foresters on top 2-1 over the OC Riptide. Nick Abraham, the starting pitcher for Santa Barbara, remains in this game. He'll face 4, 5, 6, Crandall, Johnson, and Montgomery.
And this is the part of the order that gave him problems last time. Johnson and Montgomery both got hits. Crandall almost reached on an infield single as well, but Easton Mumoff has a great defensive play to stop that one.
First pitch is located for a strike from Abraham. Remember, just his first start and just his second appearance in a Forester uniform. 0-1 pitch. And a slider is going to miss. Find the outside edge corner, for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff man.
But Abraham is a guy that has a lot of experience with starts.
Lines up the 0-2, and that's going to miss away. Ball 1.
If you look at his high school career up in Sacramento area at Franklin High, he set the school record for complete games and complete game shutouts and for innings pitched. So he's got a really, really strong arm that can go the distance.
1-2 swing and a miss on the slider. Third punch out of the day for Abraham. 1 down in the bottom of the 4th.
Definitely, as the game's starting to go on, you're starting to see more of that swing and miss stuff from Abraham working. Command that he has. Pitch is just really good job inducing the swing and miss.
The batter just stood in the box, and he looks like he's almost ready to go to fire the first pitch. Here it comes to Luke Johnson. It's a heater, chopped fair down the third baseline. Charging in, Mumma barehands it. The throw will be late. A slow hit ground ball down that third baseline will result in a 1-out infield single for Luke Johnson, and he is now 2 for 2.
Second time we've seen a play like that for Mumma. Last time he was able to glove it and hurl it over quickly. That time he had to barehand it. Great job getting the ball, but the throw didn't have as much gas as the first one did in it. Johnson showing his speed, reaching first.
And this is the stretch of the order, 5, 6, 7, that went 3 straight hits against Abraham back in the second. So we'll see what Abraham can do here. He struck out the first man in this inning with Santa Barbara leading 2-1, bottom of the 4th. By the way, that strikeout, he retired 6 straight up until that infield single by Johnson. Now 1 on, 1 out. First pitch to the left-handed batter, Montgomery, sprays it behind the press box out of the entire complex. Strike 1.
So the big thing here with Abraham is to keep an eye on is, he got the quick out one against Crandall, and then the 1-out man gets a hit. That's the 3rd time in 4 innings where that's happened. And, one time it was a double play. The other time the run came across the plate. Really about how he handles himself here against this batter, Montgomery.
Check over to the man at first base. Sliding in safely is Johnson. He is 3 for 3 in stolen bases this year. One of the better runners, just second to Navarro in this lineup today. The man at the top spot who's gone 5 for 5 and really the all-around one of the top players for OC. Next pitch is chopped outside of first. That is strike 2.
And already has a stolen base today, Johnson. On that attempt over to third, that was successful.
And Abraham takes a stroll behind the hill. Looks back to second as the shadow is getting much longer. You can see the player shadow is probably extending probably 15, maybe even 15 paces behind from where they are standing. Some long shadows with the sun setting behind the third base dugout. 1 on, 1 out. And here comes an 0-2 pitch to Reed Montgomery. Delivery, fastball well high and away, ball 1.
Something we kind of talked about with the Sturs hitters is how they feel about hitting, when the sun goes down and the lights come on. And it was a mixed bag in terms of response because, sometimes the stadium lights aren't good.
Right.
We saw that on Arroyo Seco where the bats kind of went really quiet after the lights went on. And luckily, newer complex here at the Great Park, these lights are a little stronger.
Runner goes, swing and a miss for strike 3, and down to second safely. Reed Montgomery will strike out on a slider. Runner took off. Johnson will slide in safely. So his second stolen bag of the day to get into scoring position. But Montgomery down on strikes, the 4th K of the day for Abraham. And now 2 down in the bottom of the 4th, with Santa Barbara still on top 2-1 over OC.
Yeah, I think Johnson kind of saw that one low into the dirt and thought this was a good opportunity to stole the base, but Johnson didn't have the same rate and just absolutely whiffed on the swing and miss there to strike out.
Here's now Camden Sauce to bat from the right side. First pitch is going to find the zone for strike 1.
Sauce last time up had that very weak double that scored Johnson. He was able to stretch it for 2 on what probably should have been a single.
And at second, 2 out. Comes an 0-1 pitch and located on the inside edge for strike 2. And Abraham now will re-engage. He has struck out 2, gave up 1 single in this inning. Looks to maintain a 2-1 advantage for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Long hold this time for the starting right-hander. And the 0-2 pitch, slider down and away. That is ball 1.
Abraham's really playing with his pace here to try and throw off the batters. It's definitely taking a lot longer to gather himself, step onto the mound.
Now the 1-2 delivery, swing and just tapping it foul off the end of the bat was Camden Sauce. He stays alive, 1 and 2.
Just barely stayed alive on that one. Got to be feeling confident here if you're Abraham.
After the stolen base, Johnson at second. Infield at double play depth. Oh, with 2 down, Abraham will step off. When you look forward to the pitching situation today, we're told by the pitching coaches, no one's specific to be the first man out of the pen, but a lot of right-handers available hot today. 6 to be exact, and we'll get into that conversation more as this game will progress. Man at second, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Abraham, sandwiched around an infield single by Johnson. Through 4, Santa Barbara on top 2-1 over the Riptide. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. On to the 5th inning. This 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has a couple of locations in Santa Barbara, and it's a great place to gather before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. Top of the order coming up for the Sturs, leading 2-1, top of the 5th. The batter is Klepsch. Here comes the first pitch. Swing and a miss as the fastball was delivered by Nathan Hellman back out for his 2nd inning.
I got a bit of trivia here for you. Something we were talking about before the game. I was looking at the MLB prospect rankings, the draft rankings from last year.
Here's a 0-1. Fastball on the inside edge for strike 2.
And there were 3 Sturs last year out of high school that were on these rankings. Could you name them?
Put me on the spot. I mean, a couple of guys that you could go to is now the 0-2 pitch now to Klepsch is down in the dirt, ball 1. Are they in the lineup today?
One of them is in the lineup today, yes.
Dallimore?
It's not Dallimore. This is for last year.
Last year's graduating seniors.
Last year graduating seniors out of high school.
Gotcha.
So they just finished their freshman years of college.
1-2 pitch, and it's lined to the shortstop. Good play by Holland. Didn't really have to move his feet, and Klepsch will line out to the shortstop. 1 down in the 5th. Just enlighten me.
Well, one of them will be coming up. He's just under the on-deck circle. It is Terrence Kill, who was the 120th overall prospect out of the MLB. One of them is having an off day. It's Sawyer Farr, the 89th overall draft prospect, one of the highest rated guys from high school who didn't actually enter a draft. And the other, and this one really surprised me,
First pitch now, Brenton Clark is lined into center field and falling quickly for a base hit and a one-out knock for Clark. Coming in the 5th inning with Santa Barbara on top 2-1 over the Riptide.
Clark really feeling himself. That's the second hit of the day. Had that triple that scored a run last time around, and just like that, he's on first with one down. He's got a lot of speed as well. We know that. But the other guy is Drew Rarick.
Ooh,
out of
nice.
North Dakota. He would have been the highest drafted, based on his slot where he was projected to go around the 3rd, 4th round. He would have been the highest drafted player from North Dakota ever in the MLB.
Check over to Clark. He is in safely. We'll have to wait and see. So many good players. I mean, really every year that Bill Pintard amasses for the Santa Barbara Foresters. And a lot of great talent this year. And if it's not this year, in the years to come for many of these players going on to the next level. Clark's going to take off. First pitch to kill is going to miss inside, ball 1. Clark will slide in feet first safely as the ball will ricochet away from the second baseman. And it looked like that might have clipped Clark as that ball was thrown in. And the umpire's going to give him a moment. Might have ricocheted off the dirt near like the shoulder head area.
Yeah, I think I might have just got his helmet. Thankfully, it didn't make contact with the skin, but he is a warrior, as we know, like a lot of these Foresters guy. The main thing that Pintard looks for is the heart and the player and how they've handled the game. And Clark, no different. He's a really mentally tough guy, and he's staying in there no problem.
So it's now 1-0 for Terrence Kill, man at second, 1 out. Sturs lead 2-1. Kill will now see the 1-0 pitch and the fastball high and in for ball 2. Nate, you mentioned what Bill Pintard looks for in his team. Isn't necessarily the most talented guys, but it's the right guys and the guys that play the game the right way. Always look for the team players and play hard and play fast. Now the 2-0 to Kill. Big swing and a miss late on the fastball, 2-1.
I mean, is there really anyone that exemplifies that more than Terrence Kill at the plate right now? Smile all the time. Hard competitor, fast guy. And, of course, you know, does have the talent to back it up, which
Absolutely.
Pintard says is the requirement, but it's definitely a nice, you know, addition to have. A recommendation, if you will.
And Terrence Kill today, 1 for 2. Reached on an error, then had an RBI single into center. Sturs lead 2-1. Clark at second, 1 down. 2-1 delivery, fastball, swing and a miss. Late on it again from Nathan Hellman, 2-2. After TK will be Easton Muma, third baseman, but can Santa Barbara open up a bigger advantage? Currently just a 1-run lead. Clark at second. Hellman looks to second base and will now fire home a 2-2 delivery. Fastball misses in, full count.
It's the second straight inning where we've seen the Sturs put pressure on Hellman, who's been one of, if not the strongest arms for the Riptides this year. I'm sure he does not like being in this position on the mound.
Man on, 1 down. Payoff pitch to Terrence Kill, and he will just tap it. It ricocheted off the catcher Crandall, off the chest protector. Looked like he fanned on it, but he did just clip it. Means 3-2.
Yeah, just got to that one. Kill's already scored. Clark already today wants to do it again.
By the way, Clark, who had that base hit in the center, he's 2 for 3 with that triple down to the left field corner. But he is at second, 1 away. And Hellman, another 3-2 delivery. Looks a couple times back to second. Runner goes, and the 3-2 pitch is foul back directly behind the plate. And it looks like either the bat or the ball clipped the catcher's arm. And the catcher in considerable pain, and TK immediately went up to him saying, to go and check on the man. Here comes the trainer from the third base dugout, and Crandall already camped out behind the plate ready to rock and roll, but something hit him.
Crandall has been one of the main guys patrolling behind the plate for the Riptide this year. That'd be a big loss for them. He's riding a 4-game hitting streak, batting above 300 this year. OBP of 429. He's been a really, really big player for them. So it'd be ideal for OC to have to pull him out of a game, and he looks like he's going to try and stay in.
And right after TK went to go check on the catcher, he went back to squat down in his respective position behind the plate, and Terrence Kill tightens the batting gloves. Remains at a 3-2 count. Clark remains at second. Top of the fifth inning, 2-1 the Santa Barbara Foresters on top. Only a single out as Hellman fires home another 3-2 pitch. Fastball high and in. Clark a single, and now Kill aboard after Klepsch was retired, the leadoff man. But that's now first and second, just one out in the fifth inning.
At 2 on, nobody out. Easton Muma, a guy who you want to come up to the plate in this situation, hoping to take advantage.
Muma to bat from the left side. He's 0 for 2 today. Ground out to short, ground out to second. Santa Barbara can do some damage here. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to be a fastball located on the inner edge or strike one. Two good runners on the base pass now for Bill Pintard. What will he draw up? And Muma been able to come up in big spots with big hits. Top of the fifth inning, 1-run game. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a line drive into right center field. Long run for the center fielder, but it's going to fall. From second base, Brenton Clark is being waved home. Down to second base goes Muma. Clark will score second and third, and Santa Barbara now have a 3-1 lead over the Riptide.
Clark was kind of holding up there at second, thinking maybe it'd be a catch and I could just, go the sac fly and get third. But then he looked back, saw Keel just going, and so he knew that ball was going to drop into the deepest part of that park, that really deep right center gap, as we talked about the ballpark dimensions here in Irvine. And Easton Muma takes advantage, gap double to score a run. First run surrendered all year by Nathan Hellman.
Now second and third, only a single out. The batter is Cole Chamberlain. Here's the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Strike one. Santa Barbara scoring their third run of the game. They put up one in the second, one in the third, and they're not done here. Chamberlain, who has gone 0 for 1 with a walk, he has scored a run, can do some damage. Corners have pinched in, but the middle infielders playing back. 0-1 delivery to Chamberlain. He got knotted up, but he went through the zone on a high fastball, tried to lay off of it, but strike two.
Yeah, high fastball. That's always so tempting. It's the lefty power bat, Chamberlain, but it's just a little too high. And, that's the dangerous pitch from Hellman that we've seen so much. Just got a lot of spin rate, good velocity on it. Very easy to swing and miss on that fastball.
And now the 0-2 pitch to Chamberlain is on the inside edge, going down looking for the second time is Chamberlain. Both times there was a borderline calls, and Chamberlain doesn't get the call. He thinks he goes down looking for the second time, 2 down in the fifth.
I think he fought that one. He knew right away that was going to be called strike three, I think. He kind of beating himself up about it on the way back to the dugout.
But still second and third. Here comes the first pitch now to Brady Dallimore. Checked his swing. There's no swing. Fastball misses high for ball one.
Dallimore had that deep line out to center field last time around.
He's also been hit by a pitch, but it's second and third, 2 down. Sturs lead 3-1, top of the Finneys, fifth inning. 1-0 pitch is a slider for a strike, 1-1. Should Brady reach? Caden Miller will be next for Santa Barbara. From the first base side of the hill, Hellman. The 1-1 pitch is a fastball sprayed back behind home plate, halfway up the screen, strike two.
Dallimore, it's going to be his last week with the Foresters. And, I think he wants to end it on a bang. He's already had a couple home runs this season. He's leaving the team early to get ready for the fall at TCU, and I'm sure he wants to bring in as much momentum as he can into the college program.
He's down the count, second and third, 2 out, 1-2 pitch, slider down in the dirt. Great slide by Crandall to his left to keep Terrence Kill at third base and maintain a 3-1 score line.
Good job by Crandall after, having to get looked at by the trainer to be able to still be moving around and making great defensive plays like that.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Dallimore is just going to miss down and away. Full count.
And Hellman thought he had him there. He was ready to walk back to the dugout, but a take by Dallimore. Getting the count to full.
It's that same spot that he's been working the lefties, getting the calls. With runners at second and third, 2 down, 3-2 pitch is fouled back by Dallimore. Directly behind the plate remains 3-2.
Saw Dallimore's pop also here at the Great Park as well on opening day. We're talking about, tell me before your game, you're like, yeah, this guy Dallimore, he's a really good power bat. He's like just big, tall guy.
Sees another 3-2 pitch and fouls off another one.
And you're like, yeah, this guy only just graduated high school. I'm like, certainly doesn't look like it.
Menacing presence in the batter's box, and he was about to see the 8th pitch of this plate appearance. Sawed off the last 4 pitches. Count remains full. Kill at third. At second is Muma. 3-1 Forster lead. 3-2 pitch is on the ground right side, and it's through for a base hit. From second base, Muma is held up, but Terrence Kill will come in to score the 4th run of the day, and Santa Barbara now on top 4-1 over the OC Riptide.
Great situational hitting there from Dallimore. You're down to your final strike, down to the final out of the inning. And he's just able to squeeze out one opposite field past the second baseman, Johnson, and for a base hit, and Hellman in a position that he's not used to at all. A mound visit for the tall right-hander.
Seen a couple RBIs in this game for Santa Barbara. These runs batted in brought to us by our friends at Gold's Gym. Thank you to Gold's for sponsoring those runs batted in. Gold's has 3 locations in Santa Barbara where the Foresters train to win.
And I'm not surprised that he's going to be staying in. I think if you're Brian Evans, you have to trust your guy who's one of your best pitchers all year to get that just one final out. Of course, with Caden Miller, who's already gotten to knock today, walked last time around as well. 3rd time through the order. It's not going to be easy.
And it is the number 7 batter, Miller. Hit from the left side against the right-handed reliever, Hellman. At third is Muma. Brady Dallimore, an RBI single. Now at first. 4-1 Santa Barbara lead. Top of the 5th inning. Comes the first pitch to Caden. And he's going to take a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Miller with that RBI single. He also has a walk and a stolen base. So very solid today for Caden. Still one of the more recent additions to this ball club for Bill Pintard. Runner goes from first to second, but it's fouled back on a fastball directly behind the plate and into the screen. And Dallimore is going to have to go back to first base. And Miller now behind 0-2.
A move we've seen many times from the Stars with runners on the corners is you don't want to waste that double play. Even though you're down to your final out, you might as well send the runner. On what was probably, a hit-and-run situation, perhaps.
Hellman, 0-2 pitch is going to miss away at belt height. A fastball. That is ball 1. 2 runs in for Santa Barbara. And the 3rd time that these 2 teams have met. Santa Barbara have won the first 2 meetings against Orange County. First of which was a 4-0 win. Hudson Barrett, Frank Camarillo combined for the shutout on opening day. Second contest was the walk-off win, 9-8. The thrilling victory for Santa Barbara last week. Runners on the corners. Runner from first will take off. The next pitch is going to miss upstairs. Is now 2-2 to Miller. And down to second is Brady Dallimore. 2 now in scoring position for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but smart call by Crandall not to throw it because Easton Mumon was ready to take off for home if he did.
So once again, 2 in scoring position for the Stars, 2 down. 2-2 pitch is down in the dirt. That ball skipped probably 2 feet in front of the plate, knocked down by Crandall, saving another run.
Good read. Really good read by Crandall. He's made a couple of really smart plays this inning.
There's a man tossing a right-hander for OC as Hellman has given up 3 hits in this inning. A walk. 2 runs have come around to score in the top of the 5th. Sturs have a 4-1 advantage over the Riptide. And now the 3-2 pitch to Caden Miller is down the left field line, slicing foul and out of the park. Mains 3-2.
Would have been a big opposite field knock that probably would have scored 2 runs. Really, could have opened up the game on that swing.
OC have scored their lone run in the second inning. Sturs have put up 2 here in the 5th. 2 down, 2 in scoring position. Another payoff pitch to Miller is going to miss upstairs. Ball 4, and the bases will be loaded for Easton Ruley.
Ruley's going to be the 8th batter of the inning, and just like that, we're going to probably get a pitching change here. Ryan Evans coming out of the dugout yet again, and yeah, that will be Nathan Hellman's day. What a job by the Foresters to go after one of the strongest arms in this Riptide pitching staff.
And Miller's aboard for the 3rd time today. An RBI single and 2 walks will step aside. Bases filled with Foresters, 2 down in the top of the 5th. Santa Barbara lead 4-1 over OC.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Pitch and change in the 5th inning. Noah Smith, the right-hander, will take over for Nathan Hellman. The base is loaded, and Santa Barbara have already pushed in 2 runs. It is a 4-1 lead, and they look for more damage. The batter is Easton Ruley to hit from the right side against the right-hander reliever. First pitch is going to be a slider away from Smith. That is ball 1.
Yeah, Smith, another really effective arm out of the bullpen for the Riptide. 4-pitch mix, sinker, four-seam fastball, slider, and changeup. He's got a very weird release. He's kind of got a sidearm motion that can be really tough to read as a batter.
Infield back, 1-0 pitch, and it looked like the slider missing away for ball 2.
Guy who really focuses on getting those, on getting, quick ground outs and trusting his defense to make the plays.
The base is loaded, 2 down, just looking for 1 out to go to the bottom of the 5th. Santa Barbara is leading by 3. Next pitch, this time it's going to be located 2-1 to Easton Ruley.
Simple objective here for Ruley. 2 strikes, just foul off pitches, eventually find one that you can get into, turn into a base hit, or that's not going to work. Just take pitches until you walk. Either way, you got to get a run across the board here.
2-1 delivery to Ruley, swing and a miss. It looked like the slider from Smith, 2-2, as Rulli today has gone 0 for 2, a fly out to center, and had that odd line into a double play, but it was more of a pop-up on the infield when Caden Miller was taken off from second to third, likely a hit-and-run situation to turn into a double play. But with the bases loaded, 4-1 Foresters, top of 5. 2 retired, and here comes a 2-2 pitch from Smith to Rulli, and it is down the right field line, slicing the park. Foul. Remains 2-2.
Rulli just tried to send that one into the opposite field. He's got a lot of room in that right center gap if he can just find one to send into there.
Easton has brought home 14 runs this season, and one of the best in these situations. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, is chopped outside of third base. Remains 2-2.
Just stay alive, Easton. You're going to eventually get a pitch that you don't want to swing at, take it for a ball, and then at that point, 3-2, the world's an oyster.
Mumaz at third, Dallimore at second, both of which had RBI base hits. Miller's at first. As Noah Smith cycles through a couple with his catcher. Working from the center of the hill, a long wait, and Rulli's going to call time.
And that's a tool used by Rulli to perhaps, get in the head of Smith and give him something that he can swing at here.
Top of the 5th inning with 2 runs in. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, is fouled off over the third base dugout. High towering foul ball. Means 2-2.
It's been a while since Smith's last pitch, 10 days to be exact. His last appearance didn't go the way that he wanted to. Gave up 5 hits and 2 runs against the Oaks.
The Stars will be playing the Oaks tomorrow on the road. But now the 2-2 to Easton. Swing and a miss on the slider, and the bases are left filled with Foresters in the 5th. But they do push in 2 through 4.5. Santa Barbara on top 4-1 over the OC Riptide.
All right, fans, take a look over on the first base side.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Welcome back to Irvine, California, into the Great Park Sports Complex. Santa Barbara now lead 4-1 as Nick Abraham remains on the hill. Here comes the first pitch to the leadoff man. Off speed is going to miss high and in. It's going to be Tyler Holland, Camden Burdick, Bradley Navarro, 8-9-1 scheduled to face the Santa Barbara starter. 1-0 pitch. Fastball is popped up on the infield, right side. Camping out under it is Easton Rulli, the second baseman. He will make the play. 1 down in the bottom of the 5th.
It definitely feels like Nick Abraham has settled into the game here. He's retired 5 of his last 8 faced. 5 of the last 8, 5 of the last 8 he's retired have been strikeouts, and getting quick out ones, that's a big thing to do if you're a starter and you're looking to keep on going in this game.
Here comes the first pitch now to Burdick, the number 9 batter, and it's going to miss over his head. It looked like the breaking ball and ducking out underneath it. Good thing was Burdick. That will be ball 1 with Santa Barbara on top 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 pitch is a fastball, and it's lined straight to the shortstop. Addison Kleps just had to take 1 step towards third base, makes the squeeze, and 2 very quick outs in the bottom of the 5th for Abraham.
Very quick outs, and that's good not only for you as a pitcher, but it's good for your offense. You know, the bats were really hot last time around for the Sturs. Had 8 batters come through in that inning. You want to get them back up as soon as you can, and getting your defense to make plays like that is the best way of doing so.
Sam Stevens is now warming up for Santa Barbara in their bullpen. But with 2 out on the bases clear, first pitch now to Navarro. It's going to miss inside, ball 1. And we are in the bottom of the 5th inning, brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has a couple locations in Santa Barbara. Great place to go before or after any Forester game. And now the 1-0 pitch to Navarro. It's on the ground up the middle. Tough play for the shortstop, but it goes off the glove of Klepp. She may have had a play at it, and it ricochets into center field. That might go down as an error, but the man is aboard with 2 out in the 5th. It was a long run for Klepp. She had to field that behind second base.
I'm going to roll that one ahead, and that was definitely a tough play to make. But one I felt Klepp could have done, you know. He had enough time to get a read on where that ball was going, and he just kind of bobbled out of his glove.
So it is a hit for Navarro. First time he's aboard, and the first hit of the day is the stadium lights just flicked on for the first time. Kind of changed the hue on the infield from more of a darker tint to a warmer shade. Just past 7:30 local time. The sun setting to our left beyond the third base dugout. Now the first pitch to Dans is softly hit down the third base line. Mumad charges in, scoops it off balance, and the throw is wide. Wouldn't have been in time. And back-to-back knocks, not hard hit for OC to continue the 5th inning.
Yeah, another really tough play for Mumad to make over at third, and he just couldn't do it. It was a really, really good effort. And quick word now between Chamberlain and Abraham, just very, very quick. Just probably a Chamberlain just saying, hey, you got this, settle down, we're good. As we just had the bat dog of the Riptide and Omaha walk past us.
We haven't talked about Omaha yet. We will later on in the game, but chance for OC. Trail by 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. First and second, 2 out. The first pitch now is going to skip past the catcher to MacArthur, and that's going to advance both base runners as Grant MacArthur, standing in for the 3rd time, took a slider in the dirt, and that wild pitch advances both runners now into scoring position.
Surprised Chamberlain didn't make that play. He's been really adept at making those stops all season long.
After 2 very quick outs from Abraham, 2 base hits, not hard hit, and a wild pitch. And with the tying run at the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning, there's a 4-1 Forester lead. The starting right-hander looks to get through 5. MacArthur today has gone 0 for 2. Comes a 1-0 pitch. It is on the ground left side. Here's Addison Kleps, the shortstop, charged into fraction, and the throw will be on target. Caden Miller did have to stretch a little bit and pick it on a very short hop towards second base, but the play was made and the Sturs will retire the side. Navarro and Dan stranded on the bases with back-to-back singles, but great work from Nick Abraham, the starter for the Sturs, going 5. We are now through 5 innings. Santa Barbara still on top 4-1 over the OC Riptide. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. On to the sixth inning. As McConaughey Navarro will lead off for Santa Barbara, they will have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled to start off this inning with Noah Smith, the right-hander, remaining on the hill for Orange County. First pitch to McConaughey will be a fastball just at bell tight, painting the corner for strike number 1. Navarro has gone 0 for 2 today, a strikeout once against each pitcher so far today. Noah Smith. Now the 0-1 pitch to the leadoff man. And it's a hard hit ball into right field. Going back is Navarro, and he will make the catch a few paces in front of the warning track. Really the first time the Sturs have truly barreled up a ball, and Navarro is going to be retired by Navarro out in right field, 1 down in the 6th.
Yeah, how about that? Navarro to Navarro. Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really hard hit ball, and that's something Navarro has done really well this season is just get balls on line drives, and that time just unlucky. Really great play by Navarro, the defender, making that grab, a tough over-the-shoulder one, looking directly into the sun that's setting in his eyes. Great play by the right fielder.
Now here's Addison Klepsch. Will take a first pitch high and in. Turns away from it. That is ball 1.
Now imagine if Navarro was playing in right field as well.
Ooh, yeah.
He's playing out in left, however, defensively for the Sturs.
Santa Barbara, a 4-1 lead. Underway in the 6th inning. Here comes a 1-0 pitch to Klepsch. It's going to miss upstairs for ball 2 as Addy today has gone 0 for 3. Grounded to third, struck out looking, and a line out to short.
Wouldn't be surprised, with Mandino now heading back to Louisiana Lafayette. If we see Klepsch leading off more often, then he might be the main leadoff guy throughout the rest of the year.
Next pitch takes, but he's going to take a strike. Fastball just clipping the inside edge for strike number 1. 2-1 the count as Noah Smith took over in that bases-loaded jam in the 2nd inning, struck out Easton Ruley after 2 runs came around to score and starting off this inning fresh. Bases clear, 1 down. 2-1 the delivery now to Addison Klepsch is a fastball and chopped foul down the first baseline. 2-2.
Well, I have to say, out of all the pitchers faced so far, the one currently in for the Riptide, Smith, has probably been the most impressive. And it's not surprising if you consider where that angle is coming out from his release point. Sidearm, that's a pitcher that whenever the Sturs have faced, they've struggled against guys that throw from awkward release points like that.
And now Smith holds in the center of the hill. 2-2 pitch, and it's going to miss upstairs on the heater to Klepsch. Full count.
And especially for a guy like Smith, who does have some really good velo for a sidearm, or that sinker's touching up to 88, 89-ish. Got a 4-seam as well that he can use.
The one away. 3-2 delivery to Klepsch is going to be on the outside corner. Called strike 3. Klepsch knew it. Goes down looking on the slider. 2 down in the 6th.
2 strikeouts through 3 batters faced by Smith. His last appearance against the Oaks nearly 2 weeks ago had a few strikeouts as well. So he's a really another guy in this Riptide pitching staff that can get swing and misses.
Now here is Brenton Clark. Bases clear, 2 down. Top of the 6th inning. Foresters leading 4-1. First pitch now to Brenton. As he bats from the left side, will miss inside from the right-handed reliever Smith. It's ball 1.
It is awkward as a lefty, especially. You usually do have the advantage against guys like Smith, the right-hander, pitching towards your side. It comes from such an awkward point. It's very easy to swing and miss stuff that's really inside.
Clark squared around to bunt, but we'll see ball 2 into the catcher's mitt of Crandall. Missing away that time was Noah Smith. So Clark, who has had himself a 2-for-3 day, started off with a ground out to second, a triple down the left field corner, and a base hit into center. He has scored 2 of the 4 runs today. 2-0 pitch, fastball away, ball 3.
That's something Clark's done a really good job of, It's a guy in Smith who's been really good at finding the zone and getting swings and misses versus a guy in Clark who's gotten on a couple times already. And 3-0 here, he's looking to boost that on-base percentage.
Terrence Kill is next. 0-2 down. 3-0 pitch to Clark. He swings away and foul tips it back in the glove. Big cut there from Brenton, strike 1.
Yeah, got the green light on the 3-0 and was swinging for the fences.
Smith gets himself back in the count, the reliever for OC. With 2 out, 3-1 delivery is off the glove, knocks off the glove of the pitcher, and no chance for the infield. That ball took the glove off Noah Smith, clean off the hand. No chance for the second baseman or the shortstop. And Clark, hard hit ball up the middle, knocked down, but he is aboard with 2 down in the 6th.
Yeah, absolute liner off the glove of Smith. Luckily okay. As he'll get a couple pitches just to ease back into it. Trainer's not even coming in out to take a look.
And Clark is now 3 for 4. What a day it has been for Brenton Clark, who entered today hitting .362, adding to it. First pitch is a slider to Terrence Kill, 0-1. TK's gotten on board 3 times today. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. Here's an 0-1 pitch. Changeup will miss inside. Even the count at 1. Reached on error. RBI single in the center. He stole 2 bags in the 3rd. A walk in the 5th. And he plated a run as well. So a very eventful and productive day from Terrence Kill. Remember, Clark's at first. He looked like he was going to take off, but the 1-1 is popped up. It's going to stay in the infield. Maybe a chance for MacArthur, but it's going to be the catcher who can't make the play. Had to take his mask off, and that ball was just about 2 paces down the first baseline, falls in fair ground, and that will be strike 2. And the catcher, Crandall, couldn't locate with that ball straight up.
And I thought MacArthur had the read on that. It looked like he ran in very quickly. The catcher was like, I think I have this, and Crandall and MacArthur, the first baseman, was like, all right, but I really thought, MacArthur would have made that play there a lot easier. It's an easy one for sure for the first baseman to make than the catcher.
That ball was directly on top of the plate and then just drifted. But now it's 1-2 for TK. Here's the pitch, and that's on the corner. And Terrence Kill can't believe it. He will go down looking. And it was the fastball on the outside edge by Smith. It was a hard hit single by Clark, but he is stranded on the bases. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Santa Barbara still on top, 4-1 over the Riptide.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back in Irvine, California, and the Stars have gone to their bullpen for the first time today. Enter the right-hander Sam Stevens, who will take over for Nick Abraham. Abraham is in line for the win, going 5 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, which was earned. He didn't walk anyone, but struck out 5. And Sam Stevens will face 4, 5, and 6 for OC, with Santa Barbara on top 4-1 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Comes the first pitch to Crandall, swing to miss late on the fastball. Strike 1.
Yeah, Stevens in his brief time with the Stars so far through 2 1/3, he's already gotten 4 strikeouts.
Starts off the AB to Crandall with a strike. Here comes the 0-1. Off speed on the inside edge. Big change in the velo there, but that is now strike 2.
And he does have a 3-pitch mix, 4-seam fastball, slider, and a changeup. Which is to be expected, a very common pitch mix that we've seen across the Stars.
Back to the fastball missing inside, and that is ball 1. Crandall today's gone 0 for 2. Ground up to third. Easton Mumma is there's been very active at the hot corner today, and then a strikeout for Crandall. 1-2 pitch is the slider, popped up down the right field line. Long run for Miller, the first baseman, and he can't make the play. That was halfway down the right field line. The first baseman tried to catch it like a receiver, but that is down and foul for mains 1 and 2.
Yeah, very tough play to make. Clark couldn't get there in time. He was definitely the one that had a better read on it and could have made an easier grab. And good effort by Miller, gave chase, but just dropped in. It's a tough play to make as well. With the sun position in the sky right now, it's shining. Kind of that's that area in the right foul line is kind of one of the last places where the sun is still shining.
Coming up on 8 o'clock local time. Santa Barbara leading 4-1, bottom of the 6th. And Sam Stevens will fire a 1-2 pitch to Crandall, and that is down on slider, 2-2.
As we said, it's a very, pretty sunset here. This is what they like to call golden hour, Hunter.
Such a nice complex here. You just look around, a number of fields beyond the outfield fences, massive water park to our right, and now the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, fastball away in the zone. And that will get Crandall down on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Stevens, 1 away in the 6th.
Yeah, really nice first at bat for Stevens. First batter face, and he got him swinging. Great pitch down and low.
That's going to bring now Luke Johnson. Today he's gone 2 for 2. First look at Stevens. The pitch, swing and a miss on the slider, strike 1. Base hit in the center and an infield single. Remember that was the play that Easton Mumont tried to barehand back in the 4th inning. It'll be a swinging bunt. But now in strike 1 pitch to Johnson, and there's a slider away for ball 1.
Yeah, Johnson is a guy who's really cold for a bit. He was 0 for 15, and then recently he's been hitting 8 for 14, now 10 for 16 over the last few days.
Next pitch is up the middle and ricochets off the glove of Addison Kleps, the shortstop, diving behind second base. And going to second, there's going to be a play down at second, and they got him at second base. Trying to stretch it for 2 bases. Terrence Kill, the center fielder, great backup at second base, was able to field it and had a clean line of sight to Kleps at second to gun down Johnson after a base hit. Tried to stretch it for 2 and thrown out at second.
Yeah, that was a really, really great play by Terrence Kill. A gutsy run by Johnson, but one that I think, he kind of knew that the Riptide needed. They're down by 3. Heading into the game, time's only running out here. And he tried to catch the single for 2.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Reed Montgomery, who's 1 for 2. And by the way, now Johnson, he's 3 for 3.
Continuing that hot streak. I really don't think that was the right decision. You got to be able to trust your bats. These are guys in Montgomery and Sos who's on deck who've gotten, hits already today as well.
So 2 down, bases clear. Stars lead 4-1, bottom of 6. The count is now 1-1 for Reed Montgomery. Stevens, the delivery is a slider, just misses inside for ball 2 against the left-handed batter, Reed Montgomery.
Montgomery, one of the few Long Beach State guys on the team for the Riptide.
2-1 pitch, a two-hopper over to Easton Muma at third, and hucks it over to first base, and a casual catch from Caden Miller. And Sam Stevens, in his first inning of work, only has to face the minimum. Johnson had the base hit thrown out at second. On to the seventh. Sturs by 3.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Now into the seventh inning. In Irvine, California, Foresters lead 4-1. Easton Muma will lead off for the Foresters as Noah Smith, the reliever, remains in this game for the OC Riptide. The lefty-righty scheduled against the right-handed reliever. Comes the first pitch to Muma, and it's going to be a fastball on the outside edge. Strike one as Easton today has gone 1 for 3, 2 groundouts, an RBI double, which scored Brenton Clark back in the fifth inning with Foresters leading 4-1 over OC.
And what a double it was. Just hit on a line. Nice play by Muma. Just didn't have a distance to leave the yard, though.
Next pitch is going to miss high and away. 1-1 the count is another fastball from Noah Smith. So Muma, Chamberlain, Dallimore up in the top of the seventh. Sturs on top by 3. Next pitch is going to miss away. That is ball 2 on Easton Muma. Santa Barbara now in this stretch of 10 straight games. Today's game being rescheduled for some bus issues 2 weeks ago. The makeup game being played here today, the 19th contest for both clubs. 2-1 pitch to the leadoff man. There's a fastball missing in at the knees. Ball 3. And
it's the first game of the year for the Stars that's being played on a Monday. You know, this is usually the time of rest for all the teams in the CCL. One of only, might be the only game actually in the league being played tonight.
Muma's ahead in the count, leadoff man for Santa Barbara. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, is lined and into left field and falling for a base hit. Muma, second knock of the day, and the leadoff man aboard for the Sturs to start the seventh.
You know, Smith has probably been the toughest arm to get to so far of this OC pitching staff, but looking to kickstart something here in the top of the seventh. A nice line shot into shallow left, and leadoff man is on.
That's going to bring up another lefty batter, Cole Chamberlain. 1 on, nobody out. Sturs by 3. First pitch, fastball is away, ball 1. Chamberlain today's worked a walk, scored a run, then struck out twice today, both looking. Cole takes a deep breath and stands back in the left-handed batter's box. Muma is at first. He's got 2 stolen bags on the year. Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss inside, and that is ball 2 for Chamberlain.
Big thing is here, you know, get ahead on the count. For Chamberlain, get ahead on the count, you get something in the zone that you can swing on and Give yourself a chance to open up this game.
Longer hold now for Noah Smith. Fires home the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside as Chamberlain shimmied his feet back. That is ball 3. Muma at first. Chamberlain at the plate. Dallimore on deck and in the hole. Caden Miller. Sturs have put up a run in the second, in the third, and then 2 in the fifth. But now the 3-0 pitch, and that's going to miss away. The fastball missing away at knee height to Chamberlain. The first 2 men reaching bases. Chamberlain board for the second time via a walk.
The first batter you let on, you give up on a hard hit single. The next guy you face, you walk in 4 straight. That is unacceptable, and I am not surprised to see Brian Evans come out of the dugout to have a word with his pitcher.
There's been a right-hander warming up for OC down that left field bullpen. Dallimore will be coming to the plate. And with Santa Barbara, this 3-run lead, you imagine going into the bottom of the 7th inning. You'll have 9 outs to work with for OC trailing. But again, the last time these two teams played, Nate, the Sturs put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th to regain the lead that they had lost. And then right back at the top of the 9th, OC put up 5 runs of their own. And Danny Suarez will be the right-hander warming now for OC.
Yeah, but to your point, you know, it is still baseball. Anything can happen, and that's why it's so important for the Sturs in this moment, you know. It's a crucial moment in the game. There's a reason why Brian Evans came out of the mound, came out of a dugout to have a word to settle on this pitcher. The Sturs have another opportunity to open up this game, and I'm sure they want to do that.
Dallimore's gone 1 for 2 at the plate. He's been hit by a pitch, a line out to center, then RBI single into right. Infield is playing at double play depth with 2 on, nobody out. Santa Barbara leading by 3, top of the 7th. Look to second for Smith. He'll fire home the first pitch. Fastball miss inside, ball 1.
If you're Dallimore, no reason to swing until you get a strike here. You just saw Smith give up 4 straight balls. He gives you a ball on your first pitch faced. Just be patient.
Look to second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Smith. Swing and a miss. Big cut there from Brady Dallimore, 1-1. The sun nearly set completely. Still got a good amount of ambient light, but a nice orange sky to the left of the press box where we're sitting. First and second, 1-1 pitch is a slider located for strike 2 on Brady Dallimore.
That's big for the pitcher, Smith. Gave up the leadoff. You gave up a walk and a hit. You fall behind. You come back with 2 straight strikes. Dallimore's gotten to tighten up here on the 1-2.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. The fastball got him. Big first out for the cause for OC in the 7th. 1 down in the inning.
Big out indeed. That's a tough out to get in Dallimore. It's another tough out here in Caden Miller.
So Miller to stand in from the left side, first and second. 1 down the inning. Forster's leading 4-1. Here's the first pitch, lined into right field. Navarro will slide over, make the squeeze, and the runners will hold a massive second out on the line out. Runners can't advance, and still remains first and second. Muma at second and Chamberlain at first. 2 down in the inning.
That was a smart decision by Steve Schuck to hold the runners. That was a dime by Navarro out and right. Really strong arm on him over there, and managed to hold up the runners on what normally would have been a pretty easy ball to advance on, at least if you're Muma over on at second.
And that's going to now bring up a pinch hitter to hit for Easton Ruley. Caleb Hoover will now hit for the first time today. He will bat from the left side against the right-hand reliever, Noah Smith. So a chance for Caleb to do some damage. Here comes the first pitch. It's well away, and having to slide to his left is Zach Crandall. That is ball 1.
Hoover, power bat. Really, no, He had that home run early in the season. That's gotta feel a home run here would be massive for the Stars.
Top of the 7th, Stars lead 4-1. 1-0 pitch. It's going to miss inside to Caleb. That is ball 2. This will change the defensive assignments as well on the infield.
I would expect probably either Coleman Ryan or Sawyer Farr to come in at second in the bottom half of this inning.
It's first and second, 2 down. Here's a 2-0 pitch inside, nearly hit the right knee of Caleb, and he finds himself ahead 3-0. Next is Makani Nabarro, standing on deck with third base open. 3-0 the count for Hoover.
You give him the green light here.
Noah Smith, who entered in this ball game, the base is loaded in the 5th. Looks to second and delivers a 3-0 pitch to Hoover, and that's inside ball 4, not competitive. And a 2-out walk for Caleb when he pinch hits to load up the bases for Santa Barbara. They lead 4-1, top of the 7th.
The Riptide manager, Brian Evans, coming out of the pen, out of a dugout, and I think that will be the last we see of Noah Smith.
There will be a pitch and change. Bases loaded, filled with Forsters, 2 down the top of the 7th. Santa Barbara on top 4-1 over OC.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Top of the 7th inning, Santa Barbara lead 4-1, but what an opportunity. Makani Nabarro coming to the plate. Base is loaded, 2 down in the inning. Here comes the first pitch from the reliever, Danny Suarez. Big fastball to rip and a miss for strike 1.
Big rip and a miss from Nabarro. Last time around, Makani had that line out into right. That was a really well hit ball. Big if he can get some similar contact on a baseball this time around.
Mumaz at third, Chamberlain second, Hoover first. Next pitch is going to be a slider missing inside. Big change in velo, 1-1.
Suarez is a guy who joined the Riptides a little later this season, and he's got some limited run, but he's been really effective. 8 strikeouts, no walks, 2.07 ERA, just 4 1/3 innings.
1-1 pitch, and spitting on the sliders in Nabarro, and that ball was in the dirt. Great cover by Crandall. Top of the 7th inning, 3-run lead for Santa Barbara. They can really open up this game wide open. Hit into the outfield by Nabarro. And Suarez trying to come into this inning, get out of the jam. 2-1 pitch is a heater, well high and away. Ball 3 and nowhere to put Makani Nabarro. If you look back to Noah Smith, that's exactly how the second reliever entered this ball game. 2 down, the base is loaded. Struck out the first man he faced, but now a 3-1 pitch. Big swing, and it's fouled off the end of the bat. Directly behind the plate, into the backstop, 3-2.
Best count in baseball, Hunter. I've said it before and I'll say it again. 3-2, bases loaded, 2 outs.
And Suarez hunches over, his right arm dangling down, comes to the belt, and fires the 3-2 pitch on the ground, right side to the second baseman. Johnson fields it cleanly, and the throw will be in time to retire Nabarro, and the Sturs will leave the bases loaded filled for the second time in this ball game. It's stretch time in OC. Sturs on top 4-1 over the Riptide. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the 7th, Sturs still on top 4-1 over the OC Riptide. Camden Sauce, Tyler Holland, Camden Burdick will be coming up to face a new arm, the right-hander Josh Heineman, now in for the Sturs. Facing 7, 8, and 9. And Heineman working from the first base side of the hill. First pitch is high, fastball high and tight to Sauce, leans back to it, ball 1.
Heineman been a solid arm out of the pen all season long for the Sturs. This is his 5th appearance of the summer, 2.08 ERA. Great strikeout stuff.
Comes the 1-0 pitch to Sauce, and the number 7 batter will take a fastball for a strike. And today, third baseman does a soft hit double down the left field line, then a strikeout, also an RBI to his ledger. Brought home the lone run on the scoreboard. Now the 1-1, check swing on a slider, did not go, ball 2.
Looked like to me he went around there.
So Hyman will fall behind in the count, and Sauce with that double down the left field line, the only man to reach base today from the bottom 3 in the order for OC. Here's the 2-1. Fastball's on the inside edge, 2-2.
Heineman, looking to bring some momentum this summer into his new stop, his new school of Southern Illinois, where he recently transferred.
2-2 pitch, slider down and away, full count.
And this is probably one of the more high leverage situations he's come into. It's still a close game, 3-run gap. Bottom of the 7th. Kintard calling on him to get some big outs.
3-2 pitch. Fastball is going to miss upstairs, and it's going to be a leadoff walk, and the first walk today given up by Santa Barbara pitching. Abraham started this game. Stevens went 1, and Heineman will walk the first man he faces and sauce aboard for the second time today.
First walk of the day for Santa Barbara pitching staff. Something they've done a really good job of recently of limiting.
Is a 4-1 Santa Barbara lead, bottom of 7. Comes the first pitch. The next batter, Holland, is going to be a fastball for a strike on the outside edge, 0-1.
And there was only one walk yesterday against Slow. It's the first of the day here.
Comes the next pitch, another fastball right down the middle this time. It's now 0-2. And remember, there was a change with Caleb Hoover coming in to pinch hit with Easton Ruley. And now being brought into the game defensively at second is Liam Keithley. So Keithley now in at second. The man on, nobody out. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That is away, fastball, ball 1.
Pitch to experiment there if you were Heineman. A couple of heaters in a row. Would not be surprised to see him go with a slider to get a swing and miss from
Here
Holland.
comes the pitch, upstairs, it's ball 2.
Instead went with a high heat. Tried to get the chase, and Holland just held up.
Heineman looks over to first base, 2-2 the count. Here comes the pitch, and it's outside of third base. Hit pretty hard, and it ricochets all the way down into the left field corner. But it remains 2-2 for Holland.
The Arkansas Razorback, obviously teammates of a few guys on this team.
Hyman looked to first, fires home the 2-2 pitch. Fastball is in there for strike number 3. Strikeout number 1 for Heineman, 1 down in the 7th.
Yeah, got him looking on the heat. Nice job by Heineman finding the zone. A big out one with a runner on.
Sauce remains at first, 4-1 the Santa Barbara lead, bottom of 7. That's going to bring up Burdick, the number 9 batter, to hit from the right side. Runner goes. It was a great jump and not even a throw down from Cole Chamberlain. Fantastic jump from Camden Sauce. He has his 4th stolen base of the season.
Yeah, what a jump. I mean, wasn't even close to a throw coming in. That by the time Hyman released that pitch, Sauce was as good as safe at second.
First pitch missed to Burdick, who has gone 0 for 2. Ground out to third, and a line out to short. So Sauce now in the scoring position. There's a 4-1 ball game, bottom of the 7th. Heineman expect a second a couple times. A 1-0 pitch is a fastball down and away. That is ball 2.
And crucially, got rid of a double play ball on that stolen base from Sauce.
And the top of the order is on deck for OC. Winter today, 9-9 in CCL play. There goes the runner from second to third. Chamberlain, the throw is right on target, but in safely, just barely a Sauce. And he has stolen his way to third base. Just 1 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Very, very close. A solid attempt by Chamberlain on the throw, but Sauce got some really nice speed over there.
It's now 2-1. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back over the press box and over everything here.
And now the simple objective, if you're Camden Burdick, is just ball into the outfield. If Sauce's speed, if we've seen that, could very easily score the run.
And now the 2-2 pitch to Burdick is going to be an off-speed missing upstairs. Full count. The top of the order on deck, and there is a man warming up for Santa Barbara in their bullpen. Heineman's the second arm to be used out of the pen. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to the number 9 batter, and it's going to miss inside. Ball 4. 2 walks in the inning. Runners on the corners in a 3-run game, and that will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Bradley Navarro.
Tough result there, and Pintarad's going to head over to have a word of Heineman very briefly.
Bill Pintard now wearing his jacket. It's cooled off a little bit here in Orange County. It's a nice warm day in low 80s, but still see some nice outline of the mountains in the distance as we look inward here from where we're facing the Great Park Sports Complex. Still a nice orange haze beyond the third base dugout, where the coast is located more in the true Southern California region now. Foresters having traveled down south today to play this makeup game. Santa Barbara entering today 13-4, their CCL record, and OC hitting at 500, 9-9, both teams playing their 19th game of the year.
Extended word from Pintard. The arm warming up in the bullpen right now for Santa Barbara is Tag Andrews, the Arkansas product.
Bill Pintard using
He
all
loves
the time
his long.
here.
He loves the long visits. He's waiting until the umpire kicks him off, and the umpire actually the home plate and has been standing there for quite some time with the meeting, and that'll actually be the day of Josh Heineman.
Tag Andrews coming in out of the pen. Runners will be on the corners, one down in the bottom of the seventh, and a tying run coming to the plate in the form of Bradley Navarro. Foresters on top, currently 4-1 over the Riptide.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Tag Andrews is coming in for Santa Barbara. The tying run is coming to the plate. Runners are on the corners. Josh Heineman will go a third of an inning, no hits, responsible for the 2 runners. He walked 2 and struck out 1 in the 3 batters that he faced. And now Tag Andrews, the right-hander, on the bump for Bill Pintard.
Andrews was a guy who had a really tough start to his summer. He's bounced back in a big way. The last time we saw him, didn't give up any runs against the Blues. Strikeout. He's been really effective over his last couple appearances, and I'm sure that's why the Foresters are calling to him in this moment.
The batter will be Navarro, who's gone 1 for 3. In case you're wondering what the tying run now coming to the plate, he does have 1 home run. He's brought home 7 runs this year with an average of 440. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball all located perfectly on the outer half, strike 1.
Just 2 pitches from Andrews there. The batters are going to be facing a fastball and a slider.
At third is Sauce. At first is Burdick. Here comes the next pitch, and it's in there for a strike, and quickly Tag, not wasting any time, filling up the strike zone, 0-2.
And you got to do that against a guy like Bradley Navarro, who's hitting 440 and riding an 11-game hitting streak.
0-2 pitch from Tag. That's going to miss away on the fastball. It's ball 1.
Tough miss. Tough miss. Something in the back of your head here if you're Andrews, ground ball ends the inning.
Carter Dans is on deck with 1 down, runners on the corners. Here comes the next pitch, and the fastball will zip wide, 2-2.
Couple of good takes in a row by Navarro.
Tag's been working with a quick tempo. He comes set, working from the middle of the hill. Was ahead, 0-2. Now the 2-2 pitch, fastball away. Full count. 3 straight balls and a couple good takes from Navarro. Those pitches not missing by much. Second base is now open with 1 down. Tying run at the plate. Here comes a 3-2 pitch away, and it's going to be a walk. Third walk of the inning given up by Santa Barbara pitching, and the base is now loaded for Carter Dans.
Shamelin was ready to actually throw that one because the runner at first, Burdick, started taking off, but very smartly, Klepsch at short told him, no, don't throw that. Keep the runner at third, because if he threw that, Sosa was likely going to come home.
Tying run now at first. Santa Barbara lead 4-1, and the go-ahead run now to the plate. Bottom of the seventh is the DH Dans. First pitch, laid off a fastball, but it was called a strike. 0-1.
These two teams have already had some crazy games.
Mm-hmm.
Bases loaded, just one out here in the bottom of the seventh.
0-1 pitch. Fastball is away, 1-1. Now you're really looking for that ground ball to get out of this inning. Remember, the Sturs have had the bases loaded twice. Granted, it was with 2 out. Come up empty in both occasions. Here's a 1-1, and that fastball's on the outside edge. 1-2 now.
Yeah, good job by Chamberlain painting the zone on that one. That was pretty high and outside, but he dragged it in.
Carter Dans has gone 2 for 3 today. 2 base hits. And Tag will now step off and re-engage. Resets. Still looking to work with a quick tempo. 1-2 pitch. Fastball away, high and away. 2-2. And this has been a long 7th inning for both sides. Pitch and change in the middle. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider. He will go down swinging. Big second out in the 7th. First strikeout of the day for Tag.
Big's an understatement. That is a massive out. 2 outs now. As we're getting a pinch hitter here. The former Forester, Johnny Rodriguez. Heading in the batter's box, relieving MacArthur of duties at first.
MacArthur in the 3 spot has gone 0 for 3, 3 ground outs, one of which resulted in a double play. So the base is now loaded. Say still loaded with 2 down. Tying run at first. Foresters leading 4-1. First pitch to Johnny Rodriguez. Swinging a miss late on the fastball. 0-1.
Rodriguez is a guy who, hate to say it for the farmer stir, but someone who's been really struggling recently. 0 for his last 13.
0-1 pitch. Fastball high and away. 1-1. And Rodriguez, as a left-hand first baseman, should take over at first as MacArthur started at the first station defensively for OC. But right now it's all about what he's doing at the plate. Here's the 1-1, chops it right side. Here's Keithley, just brought into the game, fields it cleanly, and the side is retired. Tag Andrews comes in, he walks one, but takes care of business, and the bases left loaded for OC. On to the 8th. Sturs lead 4-1 over OC.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Through 7 innings, Santa Barbara on top 4-1, and leading off the 8th inning will be Addison Klepsch. Top of the order will be coming up. Klepsch, Clark, and then Kill as Danny Suarez remains in this game. He entered with the bases loaded, 2 down in the 7th. Induced a ground ball by Makani Nabarro to get out of the jam. Comes the first pitch, Addison. Big swing, he fouls it back behind home plate. That is strike 1.
Kind of just have this sneaking feeling, Hunter, that Sturs might have to get some more runs on the board. That was a dangerous inning from the Riptide, and that just couldn't get anything off of it.
Next pitch is a slider on the outside corner, and Klepsch quickly falls behind 0-2. And what we said earlier in this game, last time they played 5 runs in the 8th, 5 runs in the 9th to force Sturs to have to walk off the next game. But here comes the next pitch, and in there, called strike 3. Klepsch will go down looking on the slider, and Suarez picks up his first K, 1 down in the top of the 8th.
Third strikeout looking for Klepsch today.
So 1 down, base is clear, and that's going to bring up Brenton Clark, and what a day he has had. He is currently 3 for 4, with 2 of the 4 runs on the scoreboard being plated by Brenton. Here comes the first pitch, as Clark will send it down the left field line. Moving in is Montgomery, long run, and that ball's going to fall again in that exact same spot in shallow left. He's going to second. He will slide in, and a 1-out double for Brenton Clark in a shallow left field.
Nearly identical to that first hit of the day that ended up being a triple. You know, he just loves those just opposite field knocks that are able to drop in, and really nice job by Clark being aggressive, heads up, running to head over to second, and trusting his speed to beat the throw.
Clark now 4 for 5 on the day. A triple, a double, and along with 2 singles. That's going to bring up now Terrence Kill. 1 on, 1 out. First pitch is a slider down. That is ball 1.
You know, each time that Clark's gone on, Kill, 2 of the 3's gone on after him. First time was a single that scored Clark. The other was a walk that came back in the 5th.
4-1 Forster lead, top of the 8th. Santa Barbara could have a lot more runs, left the bases loaded twice in this ball game. But they still lead by 3. Clark at second, 1 down. 2-1 pitch is chopped outside of third base. A couple of high hops by TK. It's now 1-1 rather on Terrence Kill. After TK will be Easton Mumau. And remember, Johnny Rodriguez, a former Forster, hit for OC last inning, and he is now at first base, the left-hand first baseman. Look back to second, the 1-1 delivery from Suarez, a check swing from TK as the slider was down and away. That is now ball 2.
Good job by Kill holding up.
Suarez hunches over. His right arm, his throwing arm dangles down. He comes set at the belt. Clark at second after the 1-out double. 2-1 pitch is on the ground left side. Here is Holland. The shortstop fields a high hop. Will retire Kill at first base. That does advance Clark to third. And TK is the second out in the 8th. It is a productive out. Clark down to third, so a pass ball, wild pitch, and Clark with his speed will be coming home. Have to imagine with some deep backstops from where the plate is located here as well.
Yeah, those are really deep backstops. It's a great point you make, Connor. The dirt in front of the backstop is nearly as, long as the infield grass that is in front of it.
Very deep, but with 2 out, here comes a first pitch to Easton Mumau. Fastball will be in there for a strike, and Easton, just like Clark, having a very nice day. He's 2 for 4 with an RBI. Looks to bring home Brenton Clark and make it a 5-1 lead. Top of the 8th inning. Here comes the 0-1, and the fastball is down in the dirt. 1-1.
Mumau, a really reliable RBI, man. He's already come up with runners on.
And now Smith, 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball located high in the zone for a strike. 1-2 to Easton.
I know Easton wants that one back.
Remember, Clark is at third after his double in a shallow left. With 2 down, a 1-2 pitch to Easton Mumon. That ball is spiked in front of the plate, and from third base, Brenton Clark is coming in to score, and it is now a 5-1 Santa Barbara lead. Clark scoring on a wild pitch.
You mentioned that a pitch in the dirt that gets past the catcher probably scores a run with Clark's speed, and it went all the way to the backstop, just bounced a couple feet in front of home plate, really, really in the dirt, and went over Crandall's head and all the way to the wall.
And now the 2-2 to Easton. Fastball misses high. So a full count. Base is clear, 2 away, top of the 8th. 5-1, the Forester lead. Can Clark get on base for the 3rd time today? He's got 2 hits. We'll now see the 3-2 delivery. He will spray it over the third base dugout into the dwindling night sky, and still a little bit of an orange haze above that third base dugout.
Really nice sunset.
Very nice.
You are listening to us in your living room on a couch. Maybe get a look outside the sky if you happen to be in our West Coast time zone and see a very nice sunset.
And the 3-2 delivery is in there. Called strike 3 on the fastball, inside edge. Gets Moomaw looking, but the Sturs do tack on one more into the bottom of the 8th. Sturs on top 5-1 over Orange County. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Bottom of the 8th inning, and the Foresters have extended their lead 5-1. The Forester advantage as 4, 5, and 6 will be scheduled, and Tag Andrews, who entered in a jam in the 7th, remains on the hill for Bill Pintard.
Yeah, you had a feeling that the Foresters had to get some more runs on the board, and one will absolutely do.
First pitch is a fastball away at the knees to the right-handed hitter. That is ball 1.
Now Tag comes in with a clean slate. Got out of the last inning thanks to a strikeout and some help from his defense.
Here's the 1-0 hard hit down the right field line, but sprayed foul outside of the complex. 1-1. Zach Crandall today has gone 0 for 3, grounded to third, and he's struck out twice, one of which was against the starter Abraham and then Stevens. Here's the 1-1, skipped in the dirt for ball 2. Tag being the third man out of the bullpen today. Nick Abraham still in line for the win for the Sturs after going 5. Gave up 7 hits and only a single run. 2-1 pitch, and the fastball will miss high and in. Ball 3.
Something that the Stars have done a really good job of up until the last inning was limiting the walks. They had none and had 3 in the 7th.
And a 3-1 pitch is going to miss upstairs. Ball 4 and a leadoff walk for OC. And there is a man up for Santa Barbara. Easton Toomis is now tossing, and you see Bill Pintard talking to some of the catchers in that bullpen. Leadoff man aboard via the walk, and that's going to bring up Luke Johnson, who has gone 3 for 3 today. And this is a big out if Tag Andrews can work some magic against the number 5 batter, Johnson. Here's the pitch, and a slider's for a strike, 0-1.
Big for Andrews to get ahead in the count here.
Man on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th, Foresters lead 5-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball. 0-2.
And he was actually pretty ahead of that pitch as well, Johnson. 3 for 3 today.
Now the 0-2 pitch from Tag Andrews is lifted into shallow center field. As in Klepsch, the shortstop will move back shallow center field and will make the squeeze. And Luke Johnson is retired for the first time today after going 3 for 3. First time trotting back to the dugout after a plate appearance and a massive first out for Tag.
Massive. I mean, that's been the problem guy all day for the Riptide. Stars just haven't been able to get him out. They did that time, enforcing some weak, high fly pop out. Big first out of this inning.
So 1 on, 1 out. 5-1 game as Andrews will now face Reed Montgomery for the first time, the number 6 batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball is in there. It was also tied up. Montgomery, he checked his swing, but likely went around, but called strike regardless. And Tag entered in the 7th, starting this inning clean. Man at first base, the 0-1 pitch is going to be a slider on the outside edge, 0-2. In case you're wondering, in the 9th, the Stars have Chamberlain, Dallimore, Caden Miller. But the next pitch on its way and just missing away at belt tight. The fastball, 1-2.
Tough miss for Andrews, who did a really nice job getting ahead on the count there.
To follow Montgomery, barring a ground ball double play, will be Camden Sauce. And Andrews from the belt. The 1-2 pitch is chopped right side. A chance for 2. It's Keithley. Took a funny hop. Will flip to short. No throw down. They will get the force out. That ball did take a weird hop that kind of threw off the timing. Crandall, who worked the leadoff walk, will be a force out victim at second for the second out, and Montgomery is aboard on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, even if that was a clean field, I mean, Reed Montgomery came into first base hot. Really nice speed from the left fielder, and runner's still on with 2 outs.
So here is Sauce. Bottom of the 8th. Stars lead 5-1. First pitch, the right-handed batter, is a fastball down and in. That is ball 1.
Sauce is another guy with speed. He stole a pair of bases last time he was up the 7th. Now here in the 8th, got to get him out.
Check over to the man at first base. The throw was wide, but able to get a glove on it was Caden Miller. No, that throw was on the dugout side of first base, and well done from Caden to keep that ball in front of him.
It was a really quick pickoff move by Andrews. It just nearly got away from him. Good job by Miller to keep it held up.
Montgomery at first, 2 down. And here comes a 1-0 pitch. He'll have to wait, but another check over, and that throw was high. And Miller had to jump that time. It wasn't a big jump, but he did have to jump to field that ball.
Looks like he's putting more velo on his pickoff attempts than he is on his pitches, Tag Andrews. And that's saying something.
And now the 1-0 pitch, fastball, swinging a miss. 1-1.
Sauce was late on that fastball. Maybe he was expecting the speed of the pickoff throw.
Sauce has gotten on board twice today, brought home the lone run of the day back in the 2nd. Here's a 1-1, and that's in there for a strike. 1-2. When you look at the game as a whole, Santa Barbara put up a run in the 2nd. OC responded with a run in the 2nd. Stars put up 1 in the 3rd, and then 2 in the 5th. Tacking on 1 more in the 8th to amass a 5-1 advantage into the bottom of the 8th inning, 2 out, and a man at first for OC. And now the 1-2 pitch is lifted right side of the infield. Andrews comes off the hill, but Caden Miller, the first baseman, now in foul ground, will make the squeeze to retire the side. Through 8, Santa Barbara on top, 5-1 over OC.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
On to the ninth inning. Very nice evening. You're in Irvine, California. And in the ninth, Stars will have Chamberlain, Dallimore, and Caden Miller scheduled, with Danny Suarez remaining in this ballgame, the right-handed reliever for Orange County.
Yeah, Suarez has gotten in and out of a couple of tough situations. Obviously gave up a run last time. Clean slate yet again. He'll be facing Chamberlain, Dallimore, and Miller.
5-1 Forster lead. And here comes Cole Chamberlain. He's gone 0 for 2, but has worked 2 walks and scored the first run of the ball game, which was back in the second inning. So he'll stand in from the left side. We'll get his second look at Danny Suarez. First pitch, missed upstairs. Will actually be a called strike, high in the zone for strike one. Correction. First time today that Cole is able to face Suarez. And Suarez winds up the 0-1 delivery, and that's going to be inside, down in the dirt on a slider, 1-1.
Yeah, very similar to that wild pitch that obviously scored Clark in the last inning. Good take by Chamberlain.
Both teams playing their 19th contests of this CCL season. Here comes a 1-1. Fastball, and Chamberlain was late on it, fanned it, strike 2. Two teams will also meet on Wednesday when the Foresters will begin a homestand, 3-game homestand spending Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So be sure to come on out and support the Stars. Now the 1-2 pitch, check swing that was in the dirt, but he went around, and Chamberlain can't believe it. Checked his swing on the ball in the dirt, and the tag is slapped to him by Crandall, the catcher, and Chamberlain will strike out for the first out in the ninth.
Yeah, very tight. Just went around, though. Unlucky for Cole.
Couple unlucky calls for Cole.
Yeah, he struck out looking twice already.
Things that could have gone either way, but now the first pitch to Dallimore is going to miss high and in. That is ball 1.
It's not easy to strike out Cole. I mean, he's a guy who gets on base over half the time.
The batter is Dallimore, who's gone 1 for 3, and RBI, and also been hit by a pitch. Comes the 1-0, and late on the fastball, just tapped it. It's now 1-1. And one thing, Nate, with the Foresters playing on this Monday, will really test the mental fortitude and also the body as well. These guys, you're really into the heart of the season now. This middle stretch, 10 straight games, is the 1-1 on its way to Dallimore. He will fly it into center. Burdick will camp out under it, a few steps forward, and the center fielder will make the squeeze, 2 down in the ninth.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. You know, this is a tough stretch. This is the stretch for the Stars.
Yeah, the stretch.
10 game. I mean, even without this, with this day off on Monday, which is obviously it was what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an off day, and then obviously the game got rescheduled to this date. It was always gonna be a tough stretch. Then it was gonna be 9 games in 10 days, but add on this, and the Stars have been handling it really well so far. Obviously, still have to get through the bottom of the ninth, but I mean, the bats have been really solid. Pitching staff's been really good. Impressive day so far for the Stars.
Down is now 1-0 for Caden Miller. Here comes the next pitch, late on a big swing on a fastball away in the zone, 1-1.
Obviously, you do want to leave Orange County in high spirits on your drive back to Santa Barbara. That is the largest trek that the Stars have to make in the CCL play.
1-1. Here's the pitch to Miller. Swinging to miss. Foul tips it back in the glove for strike 2. Bases are clear. 2 down. Top of the 9th with Santa Barbara leading 5-1. Bottom of this inning, 8-9-1 will be scheduled for OC. There is now an arm throwing for Santa Barbara. Will Tag Andrews go out, or will there be a new man trying to seal the deal here tonight? Comes a 1-2 pitch to Miller. Not competitive upstairs, 2-2. And Miller today on base 3 times. RBI single first time up and 3 walks. Really good stuff from the first baseman. Now the 2-2 is going to bounce in. Actually, it's going to clip his foot. Make it 4 times today. A 2-out hit by a pitch to continue the inning for Santa Barbara.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
Miller aboard, and that's going to bring up Liam Keithley for the first time today in the 8th spot. Started with Easton Ruley. Caleb Hoover pinch hit, and now Keithley to hit for the first time. Keithley will bat from the right side. Man on, 2 down in the 9th. First pitch, high and in on a fastball from Suarez. Ball 1.
I haven't seen Keithley, he's kind of adapted to a role that he was someone who was one at Cal Lutheran, where he was mainly used as a defender and as a runner. This is where he is strongest as a player.
1-0 pitch, fastball down the middle, 1-1.
He's still been a really solid hitter for the Stars, 286 average. Good OBP as well.
And at first in a 5-1 ball game. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that will just miss high, it appears, for Suarez. Looks like his fastball, 2-1. We haven't talked about the wind much here today, but with the ocean and the coast beyond the third base dugouts blowing out towards center, really right center. A very deep ballpark here at Great Park Sports Complex. 2-1. Swing and a miss on the high heat. 2-2 for Liam Keithley. Miller remains at first after being hit by a pitch. Second time today a Forester has been hit by a pitch. But it is a 5-1 lead. They'll be going to the bottom of the 9th with the lead, but how big will it be? Here comes the 2-2 to Keithley, and it's on the ground, right side. Tough play for the second baseman. Has to range over to his left. A sidearm throw to Rodriguez at first in time. A lot of distance covered for Johnson, the second baseman, in the hole. But a great play by the OC second baseman. Go to the bottom of the 9th. Santa Barbara look to lock it down, leading 5-1 over the Riptide.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Santa Barbara have a 5-1 lead going into the bottom of the 9th, and they will go to the bullpen. Easton Toomas will look to lock it down after Tag Andrews went an inning and 2/3, no hits, no runs. He walked 2 and struck out 1. And Easton Toomas will face 8-9-1 scheduled for OC.
Yeah, I mean, great performance by Tag, and there was a bit of discussion like, oh, will he stay in, will he not stay in, Toomas was warming up for a bit, then sat down, but towards the middle of that top of the ninth, he did get back to tossing, and now he is warming up on the mound tall, right? He's 6'4", 165. He's in a pretty solid arm out of the pen. Pitching lineage, his dad, Woody, was an all-star reliever with the Cardinals in the early 2000s. And this is a big moment here for Toomas, who's in the portal, coming in, and it's not a safe situation, but on the road, not late at night, you got a long drive back at you. You want this drive back home to be a pleasant one.
So Toomas currently having a conversation with Cole Chamberlain, his catcher, making sure everyone is on the same page. It will be Holland, who's gone 0 for 3 today, to bat first. The last of the ninth, Foresters lead 5-1. The lone run for OC came in the second inning, and Toomas looked to slam the door on Orange County. And he will wind up first pitch to Tyler Holland. It's a fastball lifted in a short right. Brenton Clark will just slide over a few paces, judges it well, and makes the play. One pitch and one out in the bottom of the ninth.
I like that start, Hunter. I don't know about you.
Good way to do it.
Easy out one for Toomas. Looking to make things easy.
That's now going to bring up the number 9 batter, Camden Burdick, who's gone 0 for 2 with a walk. One down, base is clear. Here comes the first pitch from Easton, and it's going to be a slider high in the zone, strike one.
And this part of the lineup is the one that the Stars have had some success with. Between the two of them, only one moment when these back of the order guys have reached.
Next pitch is down in the dirt, evens the count at 1.
That was Burdick last time he was up in the 7th when he got walked.
Toomas in this ball game with the Foresters leading 5-1. Looking for 2 more outs. The base is clear. Here comes the 1-1 as Burdick will take a fastball on the outside corner, 1-2.
You know, you got the all Longhorn battery here. Toomas is a pitcher at Texas, now in the portal, and Chamberlain, the backup catcher with the Longhorns his freshman year.
1-2 delivery to the center fielder. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out. 2 down in the 9th. 2 quick outs for Easton, and that's going to bring around the top of the order. Bradley Navarro looking for one more out in Orange County. Down to their final out in this ball game.
Yeah, great strikeout pitch by Toomas. Induced the swing and miss from Burdick, and that's a really nice sight to get ahead of what you're hoping to be the final batter you face in Bradley Navarro.
Base is clear, 2 down. Here comes the first pitch, Navarro, and a fastball is in there, strike 1. The Stars took the lead back in the 3rd. They took a 2-1 advantage and now lead 5-1.
Navarro, has to be said, it's a tough out. You know,
it is, he is.
One of the best players in the CCL this summer so far.
Comes a strike 1 pitch to the right fielder. He's going to take a slider. Great take. Borderline pitch. Could have gone either way. It's called the ball. 1-1.
A guy who 541 on base percentage. Every single time he's started a game this season, he has gotten on base.
1-1 pitch. Fastball is located low in the zone for a strike. 1-2. And Orange County down to their final strike, and Toomas looking for one more strike to claim a 5-1 victory for Santa Barbara. Toomas square on to the plate. Glove to his face. With 2 down, we'll wind up a 1-2 pitch. Navarro, and that's going to miss away. 2-2.
Try to get him with the off speed outside. Navarro was having none of it.
Just 2 quick outs for Toomas to start off this 9th inning. Santa Barbara 5-1 lead. And with 2 out, the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss on the fastball. And Easton Toomas strikes out 2 in the 9th. And our final score, 5-1. Santa Barbara, nice win over Orange County in this makeup game on Monday, June 30th.
Yeah, nice win for Santa Barbara, as you mentioned. Great performance by the pitching staff. You know, Abraham and Stevens did a good job limiting the walks, none allowed between the two of them, and then Heineman, Andrews, and Toomas did not allow a single hit in their free appearances as well. So really solid, well-rounded day from the pitching staff. Offensively, really impressive as well. They got a couple innings where they were able to get guys on, and were actually able to bring them around. That was something that the Stars struggled with yesterday against the Blues, so it's good to see them bounce back in that regard. Third game in a row, actually, where the Stars put up 5 runs on the scoreboard as well. And definitely bringing some momentum in to tomorrow's game against Conejo.
Nick Abraham, the starter who went 5, will pick up the victory in this 5-1 win for Santa Barbara. You just said it, Nate. Stars will be on the road tomorrow at Conejo. First pitch scheduled for 4:30 local time down at the campus of Cal Lutheran. And the homestand will start on Wednesday, 3 straight. So if you're in the area, be sure to come on out and support the Stars when they host Orange County in Santa Barbara on Wednesday. The final score, 5-1 for the entire team, the entire staff. For Nate Martin, I am Hunter Shoemake saying so long from Irvine, California. We'll see you tomorrow when the Stars are back in action.
Thank you.